It's time for Wolverine football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Wolverine football is also brought to you by the Triangle Barn Grill, LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, Bush Brothers Car Care, The Barbers Inn in Swissvale, A-Boss Opticians, Turtle Creek Valley Rotary Club, Web Landings, and LG3 Entertainment. Now it's time for the Woodland Hills Football Network pregame show.
Welcome to the Wolverena, the Turtle Creek home of your Woodland Hills Wolverines, and tonight it's home to a WPIAL 5A Allegheny 9 conference matchup between the visiting North Hills Indians and your Woodland Hills Wolverines. Adam Gusky and Bob Workwith on the call for you tonight as the 3-3 Woodland Hills Wolverines are 3-1 in Allegheny 9 play. They come off of a 31-21 win at Hampton a week ago. Meanwhile, the North Hills Indians are 3-3 on the year, 2-3 within the conference. They come off of a win at Baldwin a week ago. Last year, these two teams played a hard-fought battle at Martirelli Stadium, and it was a 15-8 victory for Woodland Hills up in the North Hills of Pittsburgh. This is the number 7 team in 5A, according to the Trib Live High School Sports Network, against the number 8 team in the same poll. And now we'll bring in Bob Workwith. And Bob, you've seen a lot of the Wolverines over the past 3 weeks while I have been away, and we have seen a mixed bag from Woody High. We saw a great game against Chartiers Valley, a strong effort last week against the Hampton Talbots, but as we look back to the game against Penn Trafford, the Warriors ran away with it.
Yeah, indeed, but I think Woodland Hills is kind of maybe finding some of its traction, especially in the backfield. Daniel Jones came back last week. I think he added some stability. Very impressed with the running game. We called it earlier in the year, running back by committee, but Rodney Denard, who, if you're looking for number 9 tonight, don't look for number 9, look for 26. There's a uniform change tonight for Rodney Denard, but Jake Smith and Anthony Meredith have been doing the job. And I think that coincides with the fact that DeVega Bird came back and added some stability in the interior lines. You mentioned the records, 3-1 for Woodland Hills, and I'm thinking on the way here tonight, Adam, that their last-minute touchdown against Fox Chapel, potentially a long field goal miss away from being perfect in the conference. But if you look at the schedule, the coaches won't look ahead. They'll take it week to week. You got a victory over Chartiers Valley. You needed that. Hampton was also in that pack. You got that victory tonight. You need to take care of business here this evening against North Hills and just go week by week as far as that goes. And I think that is the task at hand tonight, because the North Hills Indians are a game behind in the conference standings as far as Woodland Hills, actually a game and a half behind. So take care of business here at home. Looking for victory number 1 here at George A. Novak Field.
Woodland Hills, they wear their home black jerseys, white pants, turquoise helmets with the black ears and stripes, while back deep for the Indians are a trio of white jerseys with white pants, white helmets with all of the red trim. Chucky Hanchett will kick things off for Woodland Hills, while Cameron Taylor, Melvin Banks, and Tyler Brennan are back deep to return for North Hills, and we're underway in Turtle Creek, PA, as this one will go from around the 2-yard line for Melvin Banks as he cuts to the right-hand side. He has a crease. He's off to the races. One man to beat, and Chucky Hanchett. He'll get a shove, but no further. Banks trying the cutback as he steps along that far boundary, and finally will be brought down along that far boundary by Jaden Lucas, but an inauspicious start for Woody High as a huge kick return goes all the way down to the Woody High red zone to the 19-yard line, and that's where the North Hills Indians will set up shop.
Well, Banks is the big play man. He's had kick return touchdowns of 97 and 96 yards. Chucky Hanchett did his job, didn't make the tackle, but slowed Melvin Blanks down enough before the support came from behind in Jaden Lucas. But a big return and great field position to start this game for the Indians at the Woodland Hills 19.
So again, first down and 10 for North Hills. The ball at the 19-yard line. The quarterback for the Indians is William Hurt. He sets in the pistol, motioning a wing from right to left. The handoff will go to Blanks. No, it's a play action. Hurt running to his right-hand side, steps forward, steps through a tackle, but loses his balance as a shoe was tipped by a defensive lineman, and it'll be a pickup of about 5 as the stop is made by Tyler Barlow.
Well, Hurt, pretty good size at the quarterback slot at 6'3", 170. Barlow made the nice tackle because Hurt did a good job using those long legs to get to the edge. Tried to turn the corner. If Barlow doesn't get him, he's inside the 10 and picks up a first down. So give credit for the nice shoestring tackle by Tyrell Barlow.
The Indians will motion a wing and a tight end to the left of the formation. Double tight end set. And hand off to Blanks as he runs to the left-hand side. Tries to spin through a tackle to no avail. Stop made by Anthony Meredith. But it will still be a gain of about 2 down to the 11-yard line. Maybe 3 to that 11-yard line. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 2.
Blanks has been the big play guy, as I mentioned this year. He leads the team in rushing. Averages over 6.2 yards per carry. 7 to 78 before that run. Getting some interest from FCF schools last year. James Madison, Richmond, Villanova as well. Blanks maybe being looked at on the other side of the football at the next level, a cornerback. But again, he is the man to key on as far as the offensive backfield for North Hills.
Again, the pistol. Blanks behind Hurt. Hand off to Blanks, running to the left. Wrapped up by Meredith, and he will be dumped down 2 yards deep in the backfield. They'll say he gets maybe to a yard behind the line of scrimmage, which will bring up a loss of about 1, bringing up 4th down and 3 from the 12-yard line. And the field goal unit comes on for the North Hills Indians.
It's a good read by Meredith. He was able to get past his blocker on the near side and pick up Blanks. Blanks kept that leg drive going, but Meredith hung on. Pretty good field goal kicker comes on, and Daniel Wagner for the North Hills Indians.
This will be an attempt of 29 yards near the left hash. The holder is Dylan Pauling for the North Hills Indians. Decent snap, good hold, kick up, and that field goal is good. And the North Hills Indians turn a big kick return into a North Hills field goal. 9:29 to play in quarter number 1. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Triv Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
And we welcome you back to the Wolverena, where Woodland Hills trails North Hills by a score of 3-0. 9:29 to play in quarter number 1. Adam Gusky and Bob Orquist on the call for you here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. A field goal of 29 yards for Daniel Wagner put the Indians on top in the early goings here after a big kick return by Melvin Blanks.
Yeah, Blanks' kick return was 79 yards. Here's the ensuing kickoff, and they're kicking it away and short, as teams have been doing. Fielded by one of the up men on the near side, Christopher Jones, and he's forced out of bounds right at the 35. But I think that's a win for the Woodland Hills defense. You get a 79-yard kick return. You're 1st and 10 inside your opponent's 20-yard line. You hold them to 3 plays and a field goal. By the way, the 6th field goal in the season for Dan Wagner. So Woodland Hills will take that. They'll get their first possession starting at their own 35.
Daniel Jones, the quarterback, steps under center with an eye backfield behind him. Rodney Denard, the tailback. They'll hand off to the fullback, though. Christopher Jones, straight up the gut, powering his way forward up towards the 40-yard line for a gain of 5 as Marizzi makes the tackle for the North Hills Indians.
Christopher Jones will get 5, as you mentioned. He does a lot of the dirty work, sometimes lining up as an H-back and a fullback on that quick hitter. Larry and Mertezi, the 6'2", 315-pounder, with a nice job to make the tackle, but he'll take 5 yards on a pop with the Jones run out to the 40.
Again, the eye backfield behind Daniel Jones. Handoff this time to Denard, last week's player of the game, and he will get to the line of scrimmage and no further as a host of white jerseys drive him back down on the bottom of the pile for North Hills. Again is Moretzi.
Last week in the victory, 3 touchdowns for Rodney Denard. Over 100 yards. Tried to shake that initial tackle, but a good job. Mertezi in there as well. We got a discussion now with Marty Lynn and his crew.
We have a dead ball, personal foul against the defense. It's going to be a 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. It's going to be first down.
North Hills fans don't like the call, but Woodland Hills will take it, as this will move the ball from the Woody High 40 into Indians territory to their 45.
For Woodland Hills, I believe Denard was fighting for some extra yardage, and the whistle had blown. Maybe thrown down, so they'll take it. First down of the game comes via the penalty. Also puts the Wolverines in the North Hills territory for the first time of this evening.
Straight drop back, Jones looking left, throwing left, and the pass a bit low, intended for Michael Whitehurst, and the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down and 10.
It's one of the staple routes where Whitehurst will run that stop route. He played quarterback for 2+ games when Jones was out of the lineup. He put the senior back in the wideout spot. Same type of situation last week against Hampton. It's one of the just the stop routes that they will run with all of their wide receivers. Of course, Nazir Taylor, who is not in there at wideout. He's actually maybe lined up as a slot to the left.
Hard count by Jones. He'll hand off to Denard, bouncing it left. Had a crease for a moment. Now he'll slide his way through a miniature hole, picking up about 2 before being brought down at the 43-yard line. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 8 for the Wolverines.
Good patience. Good job to come up by North Hills Ian Zimmerman to get the initial hit. That slowed him down enough for Mertezi and a couple of other players to get over to the side. Damian Thompson as well for North Hills, and Denard picked up 2, you mentioned it. 3rd down and 8 after that pickup.
Mertezi all over the field right now for the Indians defense. High backfield behind Jones, 2 receivers to the right. Play action, Jones is pressured as the pressuring player was tackled by a Woodland Hills offensive lineman, and Daniel Jones will be yanked out of bounds along the near boundary at the 40-yard line for a gain of just 3 yards. And we'll check in with our referee, Marty Lynn, but we know this one is a holding against the Wolverines.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Still 3rd.
Seamus Conley was the man who burst through, and I believe it was Michael Lucas who grabbed a hold of his jersey. Just a good delayed blitz. It's the Vega Bird, I think, who came over, maybe grabbed his jersey, number.
No, it was Lucas.
55. It was Lucas, yeah. So 55 instead of 56. Yeah, right out in the open. It was hard not to miss that call, and good job on a delayed blitz to rule Conley around late, and it takes a 3rd and 8, turns it into about a 3rd. It's actually over 18 because it's a spot foul.
Backed up all the way to the 37-yard line. The line to gain is the North Hills 35. Jones, shotgun, twins to either side, sidecar to his left. Motion man, Denard. He'll take the end around, running from right to left. He'll be met at the line of scrimmage, driving his way across the 40, out towards the 41, maybe the 42, but no further, and the punt unit's going to come on for the Wolverines as North Hills makes the defensive stop.
So just a safe play call on 3rd and extremely long at 28. Roddy Denard running that edge play to the sweep to the left. Good job to come up initially by Alex Glatz from his linebacker spot. Some help as well from Ian Zimmerman for the Indians. And Whitehurst on to kick it away from the punt formation for Woodland Hills.
High snap. Whitehurst retreats, grabs hold. End over end punt. Takes a bounce at the 29-yard line, continuing to roll into Indians territory. The Indians return man retreats, gets away from the football. The ball down by Jeffrey Williams, and it'll be 1st and 10 for North Hills, and they've got the long field to deal with this time.
I think Whitehurst has been really good. Mentioned this in several of the broadcasts, just kicking the football. In that case, a high snap, and they got near him with Conley coming in from the near side under 69 degrees. Perfect evening here. Mostly cloudy skies. Beautiful fall evening. Whitehurst has done a really good job. Didn't panic when he got that high snap, and he'll take the roll. He's done that several times and down inside the 20. So the Indians, Adam, started their initial drive inside of Woodland Hills 20. They start their second drive inside of their own 20.
2 receivers right. They'll motion a man from right to left, and they'll run the scissors play as the inside handoff goes to Blanks, and he will drive his way forward up towards the 27-yard line. That'll be just enough for the first down if the ball is spotted at that 27. And they're going to push it back to the 26, so a pickup of 9 for Blanks and that's second down and a very manageable one for the North Hills Indians.
The staple of their offense, they bring Brennan in motion from far side to near side, and then they mentioned that they scissor and they counter the opposite way to the right with Melvin Blanks, who was lined up as a sidecar to the near side. He picks up 9 on that carry.
So 2nd and 1, pistol formation. Handoff, Blanks running left, cutting it back to the right-hand side, slides through tackles. He'll be brought down after picking up about 2 out to the 28-yard line, where the tackle's made by Tyrell Barlow. Also in on the stop, Jeremy Turner for the Wolverines.
There's the 5'11 senior Melvin Blanks, getting a lot more college interest, having a big year. Had some big plays last year. He's one of the leaders on this team as far as personality. That time, the play before, he was running a sidecar, did a good job that time to spin out of the Damian Thomas grasp to pick up 3 yards out of the I-back run in the first down of the game for North Hills. Mertezi in the line switches places with Jason Biswick for North Hills.
Wing to the right, or rather to the left, and they'll send a motion man from right to left. He'll take the handoff, and he's met at the line of scrimmage, maybe a pickup of 1 before being driven back by a host of Wolverines, including Michael Roman.
Also Meredith. The man who made that play won't even get credit for the tackle was Jaden Lucas, as they ran that jet sweep with Brennan coming to the near side. He got to the 30, and then good job to come up by Jaden Lucas to get hold of him. Lucas actually did stay on his shirt and pull him down to hold Tyler Brennan to a 1-yard pickup.
So Brennan on that end around with just a yard brings up 2nd down and 9. Ball set on the left hash, 2 receivers to the short side left, 1 to the far boundary right, 10 end to the right of the formation as well. Shotgun, Hurt with a sidecar to his left. Full motion Blanks from left to right. Play action. Hurt throwing, and the pass is incomplete as he was looking for John Hudnick, and the pass incomplete brings up 3rd down and 9.
Pressure came late, but Damian Thomas did a good job, because when Hurt faked the handoff, the play action actually froze the interior line, and Hodnick, the tight end, came on a little drag route, and he was kind of open, but Hurt couldn't get there. And I want to credit the fact that when Damian Thomas, the senior, at 6'2", 225, came late, drew a beat on it. Hurt had to get rid of it too quickly. Forces a 3rd and long for the Indians.
2 receivers right, 1 to the short side left. Sidecar to the right-hand side of Hurt. Now they'll motion. Man from left to right as Hurt is hit. The ball is loose. The officials will say it's an incomplete pass as Michael Roman came on a blitz from the right-hand side and slapped at the arm of Hurt, and the arm was coming forward for the incomplete pass. Fortunate for North Hills.
Just good speed for Roman. He got right underneath the blocker. It was Hodnick, the tight end, who tried to block him. Couldn't handle that. Good call by the officials, too. I think that Hurt's arm was in motion as it was hit from behind by Michael Roman. So pressure on 2 consecutive plays forces North Hills to punt the football.
Wagner to punt it away for North Hills. Knuckling punt, angling to the near sideline, takes a bounce in favor of the North Hills Indians. Denardo will let it roll past him, and North Hills will down it at the 27-yard line, where it'll be 1st down and 10 for Woodland Hills. So after a field goal to open the game for North Hills, back-to-back punts, 1 for either team.
And I think by design, any coaching staff will watch a boatload of film, as I'm sure you all know, being a former player, and that's the respect that 1, Nazir Taylor, normally number 9, 26 tonight, Roddy Denard, and Jaquan Smith get. We saw the opening kickoff, or the kickoff after the field goal by North Hills. They kicked it high and short. Same thing on the punts. They are aware of the dangerous abilities of the return man. So they kick it high and short. They get a good roll, and Woodland Hills starts this 2nd drive with Jaquan Smith dotting the I. Actually, he's the lone man in the backfield.
Handoff, Jaquan Smith hesitates, drives forward, gets to the 29-yard line where he's met by Alex Glatz. A gain of 2 brings up 2nd down and 8 for the Wolverines.
Real good job, no question that Jaquan Smith's breaks work, because the man came in initially and drew a serious beat on him. It was Damian Thompson for North Hills, and he stopped. Thompson slid right by him, and Jaquan was able to turn his shoulders forward for that 2-yard pickup.
Andrew Alexander steps over the football, eye backfield behind quarterback Daniel Jones. 1 receiver split to either side. Jones straight drop back, looking left, throwing left. The pass intended for Michael Whitehurst, and a nice break on the football by the D-back for North Hills, Tyler Brennan. And Brennan breaks that pass up, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 8.
Good play by the junior Brennan. You mentioned it, the nice pass breakup. The key to that was the timing. If he gets there a split second earlier, it's interference. If he gets there a split second later, it's a pass completion on the slant, the skinny post for Michael Whitehurst. But Tyler Brennan with a pass defense, perfectly played.
Jones under center. 3rd down and 8. Handoff. Jaquan Smith. Not a lot of room there as he'll pick up of about 2 out to the 31-yard line. And that brings up 4th down and 6, and the punt unit comes on again.
Good penetration, trying to pick up the number of that North Hills player. Shot the gap. I believe it was Jeffrey Gillespie, one of the outside linebackers. He's timed that perfectly as he got in between the player who was pulling for Woodland Hills and made a nice tackle to hold Smith to that 2-yard pickup.
North Hills looks like they want to come after the punter this time. Whitehurst is just going to tuck and run. He's going to pick up the 1st down and more across the 40 to the 50. He'll step out of bounds inside of North Hills territory at around the 45-yard line. And the fake punt for Michael Whitehurst works to perfection as he takes the ball into North Hills territory. It'll be 1st and 10 for Woody High, right around, they'll say, the 40-yard line.
That'll be a 29-yard pickup. Not sure if it was intentional, but you mentioned it. Maybe Woodland Hills saw it. Maybe Whitehurst saw it, Adam. You said it looked like they were going to come after it. Maybe they tipped their hand a little bit early. Great decision to pull it down and roll around the left for a 29-yard pickup on the fake punt by Michael Whitehurst.
High backfield behind Daniel Jones. Handoff will go to Jaquan Smith. He'll pause and hop to the left, picking up about 2. And down at the bottom of the pile is Alex Glatz for North Hills. A pickup of 2 brings up 2nd down and 8.
Glatz and Toten were able to bring down Jaquan Smith. So 3 consecutive 2-yard pickups for Jaquan Smith. And that's the one bad thing about having 3 guys, Denard, Smith, and Meredith, who do well in that backfield. You've got to share carries. So Smith comes in. This is his series, and he's done a good job. Let's see if he can get loose. Now they go straight eye backs.
Clock winds, 2:25 to play here in quarter number 1. Jones looking right the whole way, looking for Nazir Taylor one-on-one, and Nazir Taylor's going to be tackled at the goal line. How is there possibly not a flag there, Bobby O?
I got to agree. I think there was contact all the way. Nice route running and nice design on that, because Nazir Taylor is the big play wide receiver, kind of ran it down and in, and then a circle around, so sort of a snake route coming back to the post pattern, and the coverage was applied by Ian Zimmerman, but Zimmerman actually not only did he have the left hand on the waist, he kind of reached around with the right hand before that ball got there.
Yeah, so used the left, grabbed the hand and the waist. The right arm came around and grabbed the waist. Textbook interference, the officials missed it. So instead it'll be 3rd down and 8 here as the handoff will go to Jaquan Smith, bouncing left, lowering his shoulders, driving his way inside of the 35 to around the 33, maybe the 32-yard line. This is that gray area where you're really too close for a punt and too far away for a field goal, so the offense is going to stay on for Woodland Hills as Jaquan Smith carries that ball to the 33-yard line, bringing up 4th and 3.
Just the right decision. Good job to come up and get underneath by Tyler Brennan, along with some of his teammates to make that tackle, but I definitely think this is the right decision. Maybe try to go with some misdirection and maybe a counter for Woodland Hills on 4th and 3.
Jones under center. And he'll hand off. Nowhere to go for Anthony Meredith as he's stacked up at the line of scrimmage. A ton of beef right there at the line, making the stop for North Hills. And, of course, at the bottom of the pile is Mertezi for the North Hills Indians.
Yeah, he's been evident on these first couple of series. Mertezi just a step inside from his near side defensive tackle position, and he stymies Anthony Meredith. And, again, mentioned Mertezi, the big man, 6'2", 315. And Woodland Hills turns the ball over on downs after the big 29-yard fake punt run by Michael Whitehurst.
First and 10 for North Hills, ball at their own 33 after the Woodland Hills turnover on downs. Play being called in from the sidelines by the North Hills Indians.
Late substitution also coming in, and Glatz was late to get on the field offensively.
Wildcat formation for North Hills, as set at quarterback is Tyler Brennan, and he'll drive his way forward for a 9-yard gain before being brought down, crossing the 40 out towards the 42-yard line.
So you get double slot. And the tailback didn't get up there to block, so you get an extra man. But they'll do that. Brennan has enough abilities, enough running abilities to take that Wildcat snap. He's back in there in the Wildcat formation after that 9-yard pickup.
Michael Coleman on the tackle on the previous play for Woodland Hills. Again, Brennan, the quarterback in the Wildcat. They'll motion and they'll hand off. The tailback, Cameron Taylor, has nowhere to go. He tries to shake and bake to no avail. He's brought down 2 yards deep in the backfield, and this will bring up third down and a bit longer back towards the 40. We'll actually say he gets right around the 41, bringing up third down and 2.
Not sure if it was Lucas or Thomas or both to get back there and stymie Cameron Taylor. Brennan over 200 yards rushing on the season for North Hills, so he can get the job done and out of that backfield. He stays in at the Wildcat.
Trips to the left of the formation, including a short wing to that left side. Brennan trying to run right. He's got nowhere to go as Tyrell Barlow is there to make the stop 2 yards deep in the backfield, and that'll bring up fourth down and 4, and the punt unit comes on for the Indians.
This will be probably they'll won't get the playoff, but that's just a good job by Tyrell Barlow. He's been so solid and really not expecting a pass with Brennan in there. They read it. They're going to force a punt as the first quarter comes to an end.
We have played 12 minutes of football. North Hills leads Woodland Hills 3-0. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 70 years. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back at the Wolverena, where North Hills comes straight from the sideline to the line of scrimmage, trying to draw Woodland Hills offsides. Instead, North Hills will be charged with a false start, and I think what it may have been, quite frankly, Bobby O, is the quarterback, William Hurt, was just under center and bobbing too much, trying to draw the Wolverines offside.
And this is exactly what it was. Marty Lynn made that clear. Hurt didn't understand what he did, but he was going up and down to try to draw him. They were really just going to make it go down and try to draw him offside, so they cost themselves 5, and Wagner comes on to kick it away for North Hills.
And this boot will carry to the near sideline and into the wheelchair ramp in the stands, and then bounces back onto the sideline. So clearly North Hills respecting the return men from Woodland Hills, and I can't say I blame them, because if you saw Nazir Taylor returning kicks last week for Woodland Hills and 2 weeks ago returning punts, you could really see that he is a dangerous threat on the returns.
Quite frankly, all season for Nasir Taylor. He's done a good job. Got caught from behind, but led to a touchdown in one of the drives after that kick return, and had one earlier in the game that led to another touchdown. So very dangerous in the return game. So I agree with you. I don't blame opponents. Maybe we should stop talking about it. So the cat's out of the bag already, is it not?
That is for sure. Horse out of the barn, as we have the Wolverines with the ball, first down and 10 at the 45. First play from scrimmage for Woodland Hills of the second quarter is a pickup of about 2 for Rodney Denard. And down at the bottom of the pile, a couple of Indians making the stop on Denard, and it'll bring up second down and 8.
You know, you mentioned it in our brief pregame. Last year's game at Martorelli Stadium was a 15-8 win for Woodland Hills. I'm getting kind of a feel like that with the way these defenses have played so far in this first half. Just 23 points last year. North Hills led in that game as well, 8-0, before the Wolverines scored the game's final 15 points.
Straight drop back, Jones looking right the whole way, throwing to the right-hand side. The pass caught on that far boundary by Nazir Taylor, and the Wolverines have a first down via the air.
Good job by Taylor, using his size at 6'1", 187, blanks at 5'11", so not that big of, but he drove him off, and they respect that ability, kind of a timing pattern. Jones was looking that way all the way, but a down and then an out. A little button hook at the end of that, and Taylor makes the catch on the far boundary to pick up that first down.
Got to step away from blanks. Ian Zimmerman had the over-the-top coverage as they tried to box Taylor in, but still a first down for the Wolverines. One back set behind Jones, twins to the left, handoff. Denard surges to the line of scrimmage, then driven back by a bunch of white jerseys. Alex Glatz, amongst others, in on the tackle. And a Wolverine is shaken up. Rodney Denard, the injured player, and he is writhing. And this is not good news for Woodland Hills by any stretch of the imagination.
Grabbing at, looks like be his right knee or his right leg as that they kind of fell on top of him. I think that ball actually was close to coming out of it at the end. Denard was shaken up a couple weeks ago, but it was a hip against Chartiers Valley, I believe. It was at full strength last week in the win over Hampton. Again, they are looking at that right leg.
So the medical staff out there taking a look at Rodney Denard, who kind of got bent back over after making the stop there, and we'll take this opportunity to take a quick breather. It is second down and 10 here with Woodland Hills holding the ball at the North Hills 40-yard line. Early second quarter, North Hills 3, Woodland Hills 0. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Serving the Turtle Creek Valley and surrounding areas for over 111 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home is pleased to announce the opening of their new crematory at their Turtle Creek location. Families choosing cremation can have added peace of mind, knowing that their loved one never leaves the care of Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, and that our crematory is used exclusively for the families we serve.
LG3 Entertainment is a first-class disc jockey and karaoke entertainment company that serves the Pittsburgh and surrounding areas. They offer a wide range of music entertainment for weddings, anniversaries, school dances, corporate events, and more. They also offer beautiful chair cover linen rentals to give your event the elegance it deserves. They offer many more services, so go to their website today and see why so many choose LG3 Entertainment for the best in family fun entertainment.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Rodney Denard helped to his feet and can't put very much weight at all on that right leg as he's basically being carried over to the far sideline by the athletic trainer Danny D'Amico, one of the assistant coaches, also helping out with Rodney Denard, who was shaken up on that first down run.
Here's the key. You may be able to replace Denard, and we'll get a replay on that in the offensive backfield, but you also need to find a replacement for Denard defensively. He's solid in the defensive back position. You made the good call. He did get bent over under that pile. And also on special teams.
Handoff. Anthony Meredith driving his way forward. He'll pick up a handful from the 40 to the 35-yard line before being brought down by the Indians. Pickup of 5. Brings up third down and 5. Anthony Meredith, the State Senator Jay Costa player of the game 2 weeks ago at Chartiers Valley, had a fantastic game. A trio of touchdowns for Woody High.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns, just under 100 yards rushing. That kid likes contact. Does the junior at 167. He invited Zimmerman to come up and got an extra yard at the end of that by putting his shoulder down.
Twins right, double tight end formation as Jones runs to the right. Thought about tucking and running. Now he's going to take off running. He's going to drive his way forward. A second lean, make it a third lean. It'll depend on the spot, but he got pretty close to at least the 31-yard line where it'll be fourth down and about 1.
That's good second and third efforts, and a good call by you, extra lean. I thought when he rolled right, he ran right into the pressure, and I was thinking just throw it away, get rid of it, but he was able to duck inside of Damian Thompson and also made a nice juke move on Seamus Conley and then was able to just use that strength at the end of that run. He actually got closer to the 30 than I thought, so We're inside of a half a yard to pick this up on 4th down.
Yeah, it's 4th and less than 1 inside of the 31. As Jones will step under center, double tight end formation, 1 back set. Jones lowers the shoulder, drives his way forward. He's got the first down and more, picking up a yard and a half. And then a flag comes in as I think North Hills may have surged in there and laid in some helmet-to-helmet contact at the end of the play.
We're jumping on the pile late. Good job to just keep it there. Jones, good size, 6 foot 218. Very easily picked up that first down. Here's Marty Lynn.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense. It's going to be a 15-yard penalty, first down.
Funny, similar situation 21 years ago on 4th down and short. I'm playing left guard. Head coach Tim Boster's playing left tackle. Our quarterback, Madi Williams, surges right on top of me, picks up the first down, and LeVar Arrington comes in helmet-to-helmet on Madi Williams. And Tim took exception to that because he was kind of laying on top of the pile, and that was very reminiscent of something that happened in a similar game many years ago.
I would have ran left back in the day with you guys over there.
Jones under center. Handoff. Meredith on the counter, driving his way inside of the 10. Bobby, you say it, he invites contact number 1, and he's so shifty in the hole that even if he takes some contact, it's not clean because of how he absorbs and bounces off.
He's got 3 carries on the evening, consecutive 5-yard pickup, so 10, his first one for 0, but I like the way Meredith runs. He brings something different than does Jaquan Smith and does Roddy Denard. Denard's still getting some attention on the far sideline with that leg injury. Each has different attributes out of that backfield.
Handoff. Meredith nowhere to go this time as he's met virtually as he takes the handoff. Still able to drive his way back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a modest gain inside of the 10 towards the 9 as again Murtezi makes the play. And I'll tell you what, Bobby, he is just enormous down there on the inside of that defensive front for North Hills.
He goes 315, as we said a couple times, at 6'2", so he's got big size, but he's got quickness. And that's the key. He's shifty in that interior line, and he's beating some of the blockers to the hole. That was the case right there. It is about a half-yard pickup, but Murtezi makes it a 3rd down formation for the Wolverines, and I believe Woodland Hills needs to take a timeout, and they do.
Timeout.
That'll give us an opportunity to step away as well. 8:31 to play in the second quarter. It's 3-0 North Hills, but the Wolverines are threatening. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Whether you need a new website or want to improve your existing site, Web Landings can serve your needs. Web Landings provides professional, easy-to-maintain websites for businesses, organizations, and individuals. Discover more at weblandings.com and find out how editing your site can be as easy as using a word processor. Plus, we offer 1 year of free hosting for any website developed. Visit weblandings.com today.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
George A. Novak Field at the Wolverine as Woodland Hills takes on North Hills in a WPIAL 5A Allegheny 9 conference matchup. Number 7 team against the number 8 team. The Woodland Hills Wolverines and the North Hills Indians. Right now, North Hills leads Woodland Hills 3-0, but Woodland Hills threatens 3rd and 5 at the North Hills 9. Jones is under center. Straight drop back, looking left the whole way. One-on-one coverage with Nazir Taylor. And I can't fathom how there's no flag there as the defensive back, Melvin Blanks, has his hands in the face of Nazir Taylor. He's grabbing at his arms, and he never turned around, did Blanks. And all of that results in just an incomplete pass in the field goal unit coming on for Woodland Hills.
There's a grab right there a little bit, and then there's a face guard with both hands. That's twice tonight, we think. There should have been some pass interference call.
It looks
like I think North Hills has to take a timeout.
So the Indians take a timeout. We'll take a breather too. 8:25 to play, second quarter. Woodland Hills field goal unit on. They'll try to kick that field goal when we return here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Chucky Hanchett on to attempt a field goal of 26 yards. Michael Whitehurst the holder. The kick by Chucky Hanchett is up and good, and he was 3 of 4 going into that field goal. He's now 4 of 5 on the year, and we're tied up at 3 apiece with 8:22 to play in quarter number 2. Again, a big WPIL 5A Allegheny 9 matchup here at the Wolverena between Woodland Hills and North Hills. We'll take another breather on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 70 years. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back at the Wolverena, where Woodland Hills and North Hills tied up at 3 apiece. 26-yard field goal by Chucky Hanchett splits the uprights to tie this game up at 3-all. Woodland Hills putting together a drive that covers about 38 of the 45 yards they needed to take the lead, but instead it's a tie ball game. And Hanchett's kickoff will carry to the 15-yard line, where it's caught on the run by Tyler Brennan. And Brennan running from left to right. He'll be wrapped and brought down by Jeremy Turner. And it'll be first down and 10 for North Hills at the 25 in this tie ball game.
You know, you've seen and played a lot of football here. In the days, there were years where Woodland Hills didn't have a strong kicking game. It's certainly changed around the last couple of years. Hanchett last year and this year's solid block in the back against North Hills. That'll take them back to the 17. There's been 4 penalties thrown in this game. All 4 of them have been flagged against North Hills. That's
going to back them up from the 25 to the 15, so they'll start this drive 85 yards away from pay dirt. As we look over to that far sideline, Ronnie Denard is being still tended to by some athletic training staff, and I believe his parents have even made their way down to the field to tend to their son.
Hurt is back in, Will Hurt, after Brennan spent the last series in the Wildcat quarterback formation for the Indians.
Hurt in the pistol. He'll hand off to Melvin Blanks. He's got nowhere to go as he's swallowed up in the backfield about 5 yards deep. A gang of Wolverines in there and making the tackle, Damian Thomas.
Yeah, Thomas led the way. He's been impressive this season, 6'2", 225, using that speed, slid inside, and the guard tried to slide over. It was Biswick, couldn't get there. That's a 5-yard loss for Melvin Blanks. The Wolverines have done a good job of holding him in check in this first half.
Clock winding, 7:40 to play in the second quarter, tied at 3-all. Shotgun. Hurt in the pistol, rather. Hands off to Blanks, and he'll be met in the backfield again. A linebacker knifing through from his left outside linebacker position, making that stop. Nowhere to go.
Jerome Best.
Ron Best, 5'10", 210-pound linebacker for the Wolverines. And they say that the tailback got back to the 8, but that's quite generous. But regardless, it'll be 3rd down and 18 from the 8-yard line.
It's well done by Best. You mentioned his size. The senior linebacker just shot the gap as they tried to get Blanks to come around at a sweep to the near side, to the left side. Best had none of it. So 2 carries for negative yards. Great job to start this series by the Woodland Hills defense.
1 receiver split to either side. Wing to the right, tight end to the left. Handoff, Blanks running left. Found a crease for a moment. Jeremy Turner will make the contact at around the 11-yard line and drive blanks back. Not a lot of room there, and that'll bring up 4th down and long, and the punt unit's going to have to come on for the Indians.
So good job, number 1, on the 3rd down to not avoid or allow a big play and get them out of their shadow of their goal post. He just gets the 11, but Wagner's going to come on to kick it away, so that should result in good field position. Keep in mind the all 3 times that Wagner has punted. This will be the 3rd time in a row. The previous 2 times they kicked it short and away from Taylor.
And Coleman this time going to boot it away again, and again it'll carry into the bleachers. This time it'll bang off of the steps that carry from the bleachers down to the field and then back onto the North Hills sideline, and the official will say that the ball goes out at the 45-yard line, so the 2nd drive in a row for North Hills, or rather for Woodland Hills, starts at the North Hills 45.
That's just kicking it on an angle and taking your chance with your defense. Woodland Hills will take that. That is a weapon to have back there, even though you're not getting the ball in the hands of those return men. You're getting pretty good field position because they're kicking it away. At that time, you mentioned Taylor was back deep, so Woodland Hills starts another drive. They started 2 of their 3 drives inside Indians territory. This is their 4th drive, 2 of their 4 drives.
Jones hands off, ball carrier Jaquan Smith running to the right-hand side, inside of the 40, brought down at around the 39-yard line by Ian Zimmerman. Pickup of a half dozen brings up 2nd down and 4.
That's a good read by Zimmerman, the defensive back, to come up and make that tackle, because Smith had designs of cutting it one more time. He did a good job to spot that hole to his right, and at the last second was trying to angle to the right to the sideline, and had designs of turning it up from there and getting towards the end zone, but we'll take the 6-yard pickup on 1st down.
5.5 minutes to play. Jones under center. Hand off, Jaquan Smith lowering the shoulder, driving his way forward. They'll say he's got the 1st down inside of the 35 at the 34-yard line.
What a late handoff, too. I thought Jones still had that ball. Got to be careful on the exchange, but it wasn't as sloppy as I thought. So consecutive runs, gain 11 yards for Jaquan Smith. The Wolverines have their 5th 1st down of the 1st half.
Damon Thompson on the tackle for North Hills on the previous play. 1st and 10, Jones under center. Counter running right. Jaquan Smith. And he'll get to the 45, then surge forward inside of the 30 rather, to the 27-yard line, maybe the 28. And it's 2nd down and very manageable. What a 2nd surge there by Smith.
Good patient look as Gillespie had drawn the bead, and Smith did a good job. Gillespie came in at Jaquan Smith from his right, Gillespie's left. Did a good job to kind of take that contact and turn his body, did Smith, to fall forward for an extra 2 yards, give him 5.
Jones feigned the pass, handed off to Smith instead, and he'll lower the boom, driving his way inside of the 25 to the 23-yard line. A pickup of about 7, maybe 6. Either way, it's 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills.
This is where Woodland Hills over the last couple of games has done really good. Just getting into this rhythm, running the football. That time was a little draw play, and again, patient look, good vision for Jaquan Smith. So his last 5 carries have gone 6-6, 5-5, and 6. So good production from the senior number 10, Jaquan Smith.
Twins left, tight end right. Lone setback behind Jones is Anthony Meredith. He'll run to the right-hand side, inside of the 20. They'll say he's down around the 18-yard line.
Normally we see Meredith running in between the tackles. This was kind of an off-tackle play to his right. Did a good job to step and turn. Backside pressure by Brandon Manning came in and was able to trip up Meredith for a little bit, and then it was Jeffrey Gillespie who brought Meredith down. But again, another pickup of 5 for this running attack for Woodland Hills.
Handoff, Meredith cuts it back to the left-hand side as he sees a crease there and picks up the 1st down, and pickup of about 6 or 7 on 2nd and 5. It's enough for a 1st down as the ball now inside of the red zone at the 12-yard line.
1st and 10, Woodland Hills from the Indian 12-yard line.
So the 1-2 punch right now with Rodney Denard out of the football game. We've seen the Wolverines with a 1-2-3 punch over the last couple of weeks. Jones under center, Twins left. Double tight end formation, one back set. This time Jaquan Smith. He'll take the handoff, has a crease to the right. 10, 5, end zone touchdown. Woodland Hills takes the lead. 12-yard touchdown for Jaquan Smith, and Woodland Hills surges ahead 9-3.
Got great vision, good cut. Smith running right and then cutting right once he got the edge.
Holding on the offense. That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay first down.
That might have been the hold right there on Josh Rawlings. A little bit up the field.
I didn't see it. I mean, it seemed like he was so far gone by the time the flag hit the field. I don't think anybody but a few North Hills defensive linemen saw it.
So the spot foul takes off the board the 6th rushing touchdown. That's the play right there. I think that was the call, late flag. Maybe a deserved penalty. Smith was past that, though. He was about 2 or 3 yards past where that hold was.
Jones off of play action, has some time, eludes tacklers. He's going to throw it in the back of the end zone. A leap by Whitehurst, but the pass is too high.
Pass intended for Michael Whitehurst, incomplete.
And Jones basically put it where either Whitehurst comes down with it or it's an incomplete pass.
First when he rolled to the right under the pressure, rolled to the near side to the left, I thought this is going to be trouble because he's kind of throwing back against the grain, but he had good vision. He knew, as you said, it was Whitehurst or the defensive back, and the defensive back was Brennan. He was in front and to the side of Whitehurst, so either Michael Whitehurst was going to climb that ladder, make a spectacular catch, or it's going to be incomplete. So good field awareness and vision by Daniel Jones.
Jones will step under center. 2 receivers to the left, double tight end formation, one back set. Jones straight drop back, looking left the whole way. Absorbs contact as he throws the football, and it'll be intercepted on the goal line. The pass was intended for Jaden Lucas, but a D-back stepped in front of that pass, and Derek Ostel comes down with it right at the 1-yard line.
I think this pressure, and Jones took a hit to throw this. He was looking to the near side. Jason Biswick, the defensive end, the junior, came from the opposite side, and I think that took some of the zip, and the ball was underthrown into double coverage. Jaden Lucas was there. Ostel makes the interception, and that's the first turnover of the game. Late here in the second quarter, North Hills will start at their own 2-yard line.
So we stay tied at 3-all with 2:35 to play in the first half. Hurt in the pistol with blanks behind him. Hurt bobbles the football, trying to get rid of it as he throws to the near boundary. He gets out of the tackle box, throws the ball past the line of scrimmage, and that's all you need to do to avoid intentional grounding in high school and college.
Yeah, I thought still might have had a chance there. You made the good call because he bobbled it not once and twice. A little disappointing that drive ended up, even though it was a short drive, it was an effective running game for Woodland Hills, and that holding penalty that wiped off the touchdown from Jaquan Smith changed the complexion of that drive at the end.
So again, the pistol, power pistol this time with a sidecar to the left-hand side of William Hurt. And a high snap. And Blanks is met in the end zone, but he'll surge forward out of the end zone back to the line of scrimmage where the tackle is again made by Jeremy Turner.
Blanks did a good job. We've seen Woodland Hills record a safety. A good pressure. You got to give Blanks credit on that spin move to break out of it. You got to be careful when you're doing that. You mentioned Turner, he made a good job. He got inside of Michael Lucas on that spin move, did Melvin Blanks. A 3rd and long from their own end zone. Let's see what the North Hills Indians dial up with. Head coach Pat Carey, the North Hills grad in his 5th year as the head coach, longtime player and assistant coach under the legendary Jack McCurry at North Hills.
Clock winding to 1:45 here, and you've got to assume that North Hill's trying to take as much time off the clock here as they can, because if this is not a first down, they have to punt, and they will give Woodland Hills.
They need to call timeout, too. Yeah. That's how long they took.
Well, we'll see if the timeout stands or the flag
timeout. North Hills. That's their 3rd and final.
So North Hills takes a timeout. We'll take a break, too. 3-3 the score, 1:38 to play, second quarter. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay
Life
Costa.
has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
3rd and 9 for North Hills, the ball at their own 3-yard line. Pistol formation with Blanks behind Hurt. He'll hand off, Will Hurt to Blanks. Blanks finds a crease. He's off to the races, to the 30, the 40, the 50, the 40, trying to cut it back, and he will be hit hard inside of the 35 at the 33-yard line. But what a change of field position for the North Hills Indians as he takes it all the way from his own 3 to the Woodland Hills 33.
64-yard run, and they will take that. Great hustle by Michael Coleman. He kind of there's no question about it. He stopped him and forced him back to the inside before Taylor was able to come there, but if Coleman doesn't get there, Blanks goes 97 for a touchdown. We saw that on those big play touchdown runs against Penn Trafford earlier in the season, but they stop it here, but that kind of changes this drive around for the Indians.
One receiver split to either side, tight end to the left, wing to the right, motion man from right to left. They'll run the scissors play, hand off to Cameron Taylor, running to the right-hand side, spinning to the near boundary as a flag comes in. Nazir Taylor makes the play, and we'll have to check in with our referee, Marty Lynn, to see what this infraction is.
I think Hodnick had a little bit of a hold downfield maybe for the North Hills Indians, right at that tackle near the 30-yard line. Second carry of the first half for Cameron Taylor. Marty Lynn making sure they got this call right.
Face mask on the defense. That's going to be a 5-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
So 5 yards from the end of the run will move the ball from the 29-yard line to the 24, and that is not a first down. Well, it is repeat the down, so it stays first down, but it's first down and 1.
That was one of the changes from a few years ago, so a little face mask. That's the first penalty, by the way, against Woodland Hills tonight. Tim Bostard, head coach, first year, looking for his first win at home in this season.
Receiver split to either side as Hurt will hand off to Cameron Taylor, who surges forward inside of the 20 to about the 18-yard line. Tackle on the play made by Micah Lucas, amongst others.
Defense on that play by Jaden Lucas.
That's enough for the first down from the 24 to the 19, a gain of 5. It's 1st and 10 as 54 seconds remain in the second quarter, and the clock will start as soon as the ball is set. Pistol formation. This time it's Blanks behind Hurt. Blanks the ball carrier. Inside of the 15, the Wolverines trying to tackle the ball here as Blanks is hauled down at the 15-yard line. North Hills calling for them to clock it, but Jeremy Turner is doing everything he can to slow things down here.
Defense on the play by Jeremy Turner.
And finally, Hurt will spike the football with 25 seconds to play here on 2nd down and about 6, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 6 after the ball is spiked. But you got to give Jeremy Turner, the junior, a lot of credit there for slowing things down as much as possible.
That was Blank's first carry. He came into the game after that the big long run. He came back into the game with a nice pickup of about 4 yards. But Turner was not only was down there, he was trying to paw that ball out. Dan Wagner is well within his field goal range.
So it's 3rd down and 6 now with 25 seconds to play for North Hills. The ball at the 15 of the Wolverines. Hurt in the pistol, and a flag comes in, and it's going to be delay of game against North Hills.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Again, not that crucial of a penalty. If they would stall out here on this 3rd down and not gain any yards, you're still within Wagner's field goal range, and he has kicked 6 field goals on the season, as I mentioned. He has the only points of the night for Woodland Hills. Chucky Hanchett, the only points in the night for North Hills. Chucky Hanchett for Woodland Hills in this 3-3 contest here late in the first half.
3rd down and 11 for North Hills with the football on the right hash at the 20-yard line.
Last time earlier in this drive, we had a crucial 3rd down. Blanks burst for 64 yards.
Blanks is the tailback behind Hurt in the pistol, trips to the right of the formation. And Hurt's going to run to the right-hand side. He's going to throw it to this near boundary, incomplete. The pass intended for Tyler Brennan, and that'll bring up 4th down and 11, and the field goal unit will come on. Daniel Wagner going to have to kick a field goal of about 37 yards. A moment ago, it would have been 32.
Let's see if that plays any distance. Wagner has hit from 31 on the season. I mentioned he has kicked 6 field goals earlier in the year, a 29-yarder.
Pauling is the holder. Again, the kicker is Wagner.
36 his season high.
So this would be a season high if he makes it. And this field goal is wide right and no good. And the Wolverines had the Indians backed up. They dodged a bullet with a great hustle play by Michael Coleman and Nazir Taylor. You add to that North Hills making an error once they got the ball inside of the red zone, and the missed field goal gives the Wolverines the football at the 20.
He'll take it. Those things all add up. And that's the hustle play right there. You talked about it. If Coleman doesn't get back there and force Blanks goes 97 for a touchdown. That results in some more downs. The defense stiffens, holds. The penalty adds into that. Woodland Hills with 14 seconds left probably will just take a knee on this football.
Either that or you hand the ball off, try to keep it safe with Jaquan Smith. We've seen his big playability this year. And he will take the handoff over right tackle, lowers the shoulder, drives his way to the 25, and in all likelihood that'll be the final play as Tim Bostard points to the locker room, and it will be the final play of half number 1. We have played 24 minutes of football and seen 6 total points, Bob Orquist, between the Woodland Hills Wolverines and the North Hills Indians. A year ago, a very similar situation as it was a very tight ball game going into the locker room. Woodland Hills scored in the second half to end up winning the game 15-8. And this one, another nip and tuck, 24 minutes through the first half.
Yeah, the defenses have done a good job. There have been some big plays. Blanks specifically with a couple big plays. Kick return, which led to the opening field goal, and the big run, which led to the missed field goal. For Woodland Hills, they were able to take advantage of a nice drive, although keep in mind that the penalty kind of changed that complexion of that drive as Smith did score a touchdown. Took those points off the board. Hanchett kicked the field goal. So Wagner with one, Hanchett with the other. We've got 6 points in a tie ball game through 24 minutes.
We're going to step away for about 30 seconds, and when we return, we'll get you set for halftime. Again, it's North Hills 3, Woodland Hills 3. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Bush Brothers Car Care Center in Swissvale has been a Monongahela Avenue institution for nearly 30 years. Bush Brothers is a full-service mechanic and tire shop for all types of vehicles. Whether you need mechanical work, alignment, state inspection, emissions testing, new tires, or just an oil change, Bush Brothers is the place for you. Bush Brothers Car Care Center, Monongahela Avenue in Swissvale, or give Martin and Jason a call at 412-351-5342.
A-Boss Opticians on Braddock Avenue in Braddock is your one-stop optical shop. With hundreds of the latest frame styles and lenses, the skilled opticians at A-Boss will help select and fit the best eyewear option for you. Plus, A-Boss Opticians is the best eyewear repair facility in the area. No matter what your eyewear needs are, make A-Boss Opticians your opticians. Call A-Boss Opticians at 412-271-4424 or visit abossopticians.com.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
A huge kickoff return for the North Hills Indians. Melvin Blanks gave them the ball at the Woodland Hills 19-yard line. Now, they weren't able to do much with it to begin this football game, and it ended up being a 29-yard field goal for Daniel Wagner. a pair of punts, one for either team, then a turnover on downs, and another punt gave Woodland Hills the football at the North Hills 45-yard line. They drove the ball down inside of the North Hills 10-yard line to around the 8-yard line, and that's when Chucky Hanchett came on and kicked a 26-yard field goal. A punt by North Hills, an interception thrown at the goal line by Daniel Jones. North Hills drove the ball all the way to the Woodland Hills 15-yard line, retreated with a penalty, missed a field goal, and we go into the locker room knotted up at 3-all. And Bobby Orquist, this has been a defensive struggle for these two teams, even though there has been a couple of big plays.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The defenses have shown up. Neither team has gotten over 100 yards. Total 99 yards for North Hills, all those on the ground. And you take out the 64-yard run by Melvin Blanks, and that shows you what Woodland Hills has done. The Wolverines have 83 yards, 70 of those coming on the ground. So the defenses have definitely shown up. We contexted that several times in the first half of how last year's game was kind of a defensive struggle. We've got that going on, a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel, if you will. It's playoff time in baseball. So credit to the defenses, and we'll see what kind of adjustments are made either way at halftime.
Folks, if you're watching live on Facebook or on our television affiliate, stay tuned and check out the North Hills and Woodland Hills marching bands. If you're listening on the MSA Sports Network, we'll have the Trib Live High School Sports Network. We'll have the halftime show for you if you're listening there. And if you're watching one of our replays, we'll be back as we get set for the second half. All of that right here on the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
You're listening to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Wolverine Football is also brought to you by the Triangle Barn Grill, LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, Bush Brothers Car Care, the Barbers Inn in Swissville, A-Boss Opticians, the Turtle Creek Valley Rotary Club, Web Landings, and LG3 Entertainment. Now it's time for the Woodland Hills Football Network halftime show.
Back at the Wolverena, where Woodland Hills and North Hills are tied up at 3-all. Adam Gusky and Bob Orquist on the call for you here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network. And Bobby, we talked about it before we stepped away for halftime. Just an absolute defensive struggle between these two teams. And like you said, you saved that one big play by Melvin Blanks. This is a very, very hard-fought football game between two teams that are really laying the wood to each other.
Yeah, two teams in the thick of it as far as looking at the conference standings as well, with Upper St. Clair West Allegheny, who, by the way, play tonight in probably the biggest game so far of the year for the A9. But I was thinking back during the halftime. Blank starts the game with a big kick return. Woodland Hills is faced with the defense inside their own 20-yard line, and they do a good job. And then the big run by Blanks, and Woodland Hills stiffens there, and North Hills misses a field goal. So those are win-win situations. I thought, even though you're down 3-0, that's a win, and maybe that gave the defense confidence. So we'll see how it plays out in the second half. Is there a big play within Woodland Hills? One of the other things we need to look at is the health of Ronnie Denard, who got bent over.
Games can be heard live and on demand.
All right, well, we're going to step away for 2 minutes, and when we return, we'll get you set for the second half. Again, your halftime score, Woodland Hills 3 and North Hills 3. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, right here on the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com. The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 70 years. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back in Turtle Creek, where Woodland Hills and North Hills are tied up at three apiece. Want to send out our well wishes to Rick McIntyre, under the weather tonight and not prowling the sidelines for us this evening. He has done a stellar job in the booth with you, Bobby, over the last 3 weeks in my absence, and I appreciate you stepping up to the plate as play-by-play in my absence as well. So again, the well wishes for Rick, and thanks to both of you for the great jobs in my absence.
We're trying to hold it down without Rick's presence here. It's been fun. It's been enjoyable. Again, I was driving here, and we talked a little bit about it earlier, and I'm thinking, you take away the Fox Chapel last-minute touchdown, maybe some mistakes in that, and Woodland Hills, it almost feels like they weren't 3-1 in the conference. So I like the fact that the destiny, and we're just past the halfway point, holds in their own hands. You got wins over teams you needed to beat, Chartiers Valley and Hampton the last couple of weeks. You're here at home. You're locked in a tight one, so you need a big performance to come up with a win over North Hills and then just take care of business that way. So I think they're, rounding into shape, and a shout out to Rick. He's really been impressed if you've listened to the broadcast. I know you have, with the Vega Bird. So I think that coincides with the fact that the running game kind of has taken control for Woodland Hills. I expect to see some of that, more of that in the second half. They had that short but good drive that Jaquan Smith had a touchdown taken off of the holding call. So factor that into the mix, and instead of being 3-3, maybe it's 10-3. So we'll see how it plays out in the second half with the running game. Meredith and Smith, I don't believe, the way it looked with Denard, I don't believe that he will come back tonight for Woodland Hills.
Woodland Hills will start the second half with the football as North Hills received to begin the first half, and they turned it into a big kick return, followed up by a field goal. Woodland Hills also scoring a field goal through the first 24 minutes, and we'll see what the second 24 minutes of action provide for us here in Turtle Creek. Kicking off for North Hills is Daniel Wagner, while back deep to return for Woody High is Nazir Taylor and Jaquan Smith. End-over-end kick, going to carry to around the 20-yard line, where Jaquan Smith is on the return for Woodland Hills. Runs to the right, cuts it back to the left, surges forward across the 30, out towards the 35-yard line. They'll say he's down at the 34, where it'll be first down and 10 for the Wolverines.
Nice tackle from behind by Tyler Brennan, because Jaquan Smith had his eyes on the near sideline and a lot of green trying to cut it back to the near side, but Brennan makes the stop. But pretty good field position, and the high short kick, again, is paying tribute to how good Smith and Denard and Nazir Taylor have been in the return game for Woodland Hills.
Two receivers right, one back set behind Daniel Jones. The back is Anthony Meredith, and he will take the handoff, cutting right, trying to slide back to his left. Met by a gang of white jerseys, and on the tackle, Tyler Brennan amongst others. They'll say it's a gain of 3 before the whistles blow. Second down and 7.
6 carries, 21 yards in the first half for Anthony Meredith. Leading rusher was Jaquan Smith, who ended up with 39 yards on 10 carries. So 7th carry of the night for Anthony Meredith.
Second and 7, 2 receivers to the near side left, tight end to the short side right in a double tight end formation. Handoff, Meredith hesitating. Driving back to the line of scrimmage as he's smothered by a couple of North Hills Indians. Alex Glatz in on the tackle. Also in on the stop, Seamus Connolly.
Well, if you're looking at a read option, that was almost like it. Unfortunately for Woodland Hills, they don't have a read option. So just a little bit the delay, you mentioned it, I think it was the delay of Jones getting the ball to Anthony Meredith, kind of shot the timing of that play from the beginning.
One receiver split to either side as Jones will step under center with a one-back set. Double tight ends. Play action, waggle to the near side left. Jones will settle his feet. He'll throw down this near seam. He's looking for Davian Rochelle, but the pass incomplete, well too long on the pass attempt, and that'll bring out the punt unit.
Sometimes on the waggle, you look for an underneath route. You maybe drag a tight end across the middle. This time, a little waggle and a roll out to the near side for Jones, and they go deep to Davian Rochelle, who is a big, good-looking freshman, a good target down there. Pressure came late. Maybe that threw the timing off because Rochelle kind of stopped, and the incompletion brings out Whitehurst for another punt for the Woodland Hills Wolverines.
And Michael Whitehurst will boot this one away after a nifty fake punt in half number one. And this ball takes a neutral bounce initially and then a roll in the favor of the Wolverines, and will be down by the long snapper Marcus Taylor at the 32-yard line. So this tight game continues as we're knotted up at 3-all with 10:23 to play in the third quarter.
Yeah, so that drive was indication that things may not change. There you see the Allegheny 9 conference standings. Top two teams going at it tonight, Upper St. Clair and West Allegheny. Woodland Hills just right behind those two at 3-1, and then teams bunch together. Hampton and Moon are 2-2. Moon next week on the schedule for Woody High, 2-3 for the Foxes and Indians.
Power pistol handoff going to Melvin Blanks, and Melvin Blanks has a crease and he has a first down, but there's a flag down in the backfield. And we'll check in with our referee, Marty Lynn, to see what this call is.
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay first, 2-7.
And the flag was down at the 31-yard line, 2 yards deep in the backfield, so that's going to bring up first down and 22 all the way back inside of the 20. Or towards the 20, rather.
First and 10 from their own 21.
Mark the ball at the 21-yard line. As again, the Indians show power pistol with William Hurt, the quarterback. Sidecar to his left is Cameron Taylor, and the tailback is Melvin Blanks. Snap awry, but Melvin Blanks able to take the handoff. He'll be met at the line of scrimmage by Tyrell Barlow, and Barlow will wrestle him down after a gain of about 1, and that'll bring up second down and 21 at the 22.
That's a good job by Barlow. This power pistol was
Gain of 1 on the play, second and
kind of
21
new.
Indians.
Good job by Roman, or actually it was Turner to get in there, and they kind of collided. Teammates collided in the backfield. Jeremy Turner kind of got tangled up and hit into Michael Roman, and they would have stopped Blanks in the backfield. But I like this power pistol type formation. We get it again.
So the pistol with Hurt off of play action, rolling right, looking back left. He's pressured. He'll release the football down the near boundary, and will it be intercepted or incomplete? The officials say incomplete as Nazir Taylor picked it on the near boundary, but he's out of bounds.
Couldn't tell if he was bobbling that. No completions. That will be 0 for 6 now for Will Hurt.
Taking a look at the Triangle Bar and Grill replay as Hurt rolls to his right here. Just tried to throw it down along the sideline, and the pass, I think he was trying to keep it out of bounds, but Nazir Taylor nearly pulled it back inbounds to no avail.
Meredith and Thomas on the pressure. Now that's a situation where you need to throw. They punted the ball into the first and second row a couple times. That's a situation where Hurt needed to throw that football.
Shotgun sidecar to the left of Hurt. He'll roll left on 3rd and long, throwing it for Blanks, and this time it's intercepted. Michael Coleman with the INT, running right inside of the 30, the 25, the 20, to the 15, still on his feet, inside of the 10, and spun out of bounds at the 5-yard line. A big interception for Woodland Hills, sets them up deep inside of Indians territory.
We had a question on the previous play about the INT, no question there. Underthrown, stepping in front of the intended receiver, Melvin Blanks, was Michael Coleman, the junior defensive back. He gets the INT and takes it inside the 10 to the 5. So nice job by Michael Coleman on that return from near the 45. So we'll give him 39 yards of an INT return. Woodland Hills set up after the first turnover of the game for North Hills, and a chance maybe to get the first touchdown of the game. We did have a touchdown waved off, but big INT first turnover. Each team has an interception tonight.
So the 39-yard interception returned by Michael Coleman, and it's 1st and goal for Woodland Hills at the 5. Backfield behind Daniel Jones. Handoff. It's Jaquan Smith driving his way forward. He won't be denied. A Woodland Hills touchdown, and the Wolverines this time are on top, 9-3 with no flags on the field.
Yeah, I was scanning for flags, and I got startled for a second because there was a shoe by Tyrell Barlow. He had lost his left shoe, and I thought, was that a flag? Made sure because we had the 10-yarder taken off the board. This one will stand. It is the 6th touchdown run of the year for Jaquan Smith and the first lead of the night for Woodland Hills.
Chucky Hansen on to attempt the PAT to give Woodland Hills a 7-point lead. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up, and the kick is good. And with 8:45 to play in the 3rd quarter, Woodland Hills takes its first lead of the football game, 10-3. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the North Hills Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Serving the Turtle Creek Valley and surrounding areas for over 111 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home is pleased to announce the opening of their new crematory at their Turtle Creek location. Families choosing cremation can have added peace of mind, knowing that their loved one never leaves the care of Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, and that our crematory is used exclusively for the families we serve.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
We're at the Wolverena where Woodland Hills takes their first lead of the game, 10-3 on a 5-yard touchdown run by Jaquan Smith. He ran left, followed Barlow, was met around the 3-yard line, but just kept pumping those legs as he ran through Tyler Brennan.
Yeah, kept that right hand down to keep his balance as he came to the goal line on the near side. Fitting that the game's first touchdown comes directly as a result of a great defensive play, a great interception by Michael Coleman. The defenses have been good. Coleman gets the INT. Woodland Hills gets the touchdown.
And Chucky Hansen's kickoff will carry down to the 8-yard line, where it'll be returned by the dangerous Melvin Blanks, who finds a crease, and he broke free for a moment, still on his feet as he crosses the 35 out to the 40-yard line, where he's finally brought down by Jaden Lucas. And Blanks is slow to get up as he was met hard by William Clark at the 35 and then drove out to the 40, where he was brought down by the aforementioned Lucas, and he is slow to his feet.
I think it was the Clark hit, as you mentioned, Adam, that really kind of maybe stunned him. Lucas made the tackle. Blanks is up and he's okay, but a good job by William Clark to get off the tackle, and then he stuck that shoulder right into his gut. And then Lucas and Hansen, kickers love to do that, get in on the action, bring Blanks down at his own 40.
Power pistol. Hurt with Cameron Taylor behind him, and to his right-hand side is Alex Glatz. Elbow motion out of the power pistol to a short shotgun. A wing to the right. Now they'll pitch the end around. The ball carrier is Tyler Brennan, and Tyler Brennan lost the football. It's scooped up by the Wolverines. It's Jaden Lucas with the ball. He's brought down inside of the 40 at the 38-yard line, and another big defensive play, and the Wolverines have the ball again inside of North Hills territory.
Lucas gets the recovery, good vision. Michael Roman strips the ball as Brennan came on that pitch to the near side. Roman just came in from the side and kept at it, raked at it, pulled it out there, and Jaden Lucas picks it up. Consecutive turnovers by North Hills. Woodland Hills gets the ball back at the Indians' 38-yard line.
So the fumble by Brennan, the strip by Roman, the recovery by Lucas, and it's 1st and 10 for Woody High at the 38. Straight drop back, Jones has all kinds of time as they'll throw it to a wide open receiver at the 10-yard line, and the football is dropped. Oh, and that is so far out of character for Nazir Taylor. I think he was thinking 6 the whole way and just didn't catch the football.
Maybe he thought, man, how am I so wide open? He's the guy you want. What a great pattern, a down and out, and then he turns and there's no one there. There was an inside receiver who cleared out And Nazir Taylor wide open at the North Hills 10. He just drops the football. Well-designed pass play. There's the guy you want to be wide open.
2nd and 10. Jones under center. He'll hand off. Anthony Meredith finds a crease to the left-hand side. He's got the first down and more. Down to the 25-yard line. A pickup on that play of 13 yards, and it's 1st and 10 for Woody High.
There you see the 5'11", 167-pound junior Meredith. Does a good job running up the gut. This time, it's good vision as he saw the man coming up the gut. Little hop step to his left, and then found the hole there and rolled forward all the way to the Indians' 25. And you mentioned it, 13 more yards for Anthony Meredith.
One back set behind Jones. 2 receivers to the wide side right. Delayed handoff. Meredith has a crease over right tackle this time. Inside of the 20. They'll say he's actually down at the 20 for a pickup of a handful. Woodland Hills trying to take advantage of a fumble forced by Michael Roman. That's the 2nd week in a row where Michael Roman strips the football away from an opponent, and the Wolverines have an opportunity to get a 2-score lead for the first time.
It was one of the plays we had last week of the play of the game. Patrick T. Lanigan play of the game. Meredith actually wanted to sub out, but Woodland Hills couldn't get Jaquan Smith in there to take him out of the game.
Jones going to throw. Looking right, throwing right. The pass this time complete to Nazir Taylor. He lost the football. He had it in his hands, then he fumbled it, and it's recovered by North Hills at the 15-yard line. So Taylor with a drop on this drive and then a fumble on this drive after catching the pass, and North Hills dodges the proverbial bullet as they'll take over 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
I like the play call when you want to get it to Taylor and get him out in space, but that's a good call because he actually was able to go forward on a couple steps, but loses the football. 2nd turnover of the game now for Woodland Hills, and North Hills avoids disaster on the turnover. The game remains 10-3 on their 2nd consecutive drive with a turnover, I should say, for the Indians.
So 2 turnovers for North Hills, 2 for Woodland Hills now, and Woodland Hills has turned the ball over twice inside of the North Hills red zone. Handoff will go to Blanks. He has nowhere to go, maybe a yard or 2, as he is enveloped by Micah Lucas.
Good job by Lucas, 6 foot 283. The place he had to go was down. Lucas did a good job to shed the block. Come in from behind, also getting up there on the tackle, Jeremy Turner. They've done a good job outside. Again, there have been 2 big plays for North Hills. Blanks, the opening kickoff return, and of course the 64-yarder. One of those led to a field goal. The other led to a missed field goal attempt. Outside of that, the Wolverines have shut down Melvin Blanks.
Power pistol. Some movement early by North Hills, and we've seen it a couple of times today, but this is the time where we are definitely going to see a flag thrown against the Indians.
For the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
There's been 8 penalties in the game, 7 flagged against North Hills. You see the Indians coaching staff trying to work on ways to get people in space. We haven't seen a whole lot of offense. Credit again, we've been talking about the defenses. They've been really good. Woodland Hills has capitalized on an interception by Michael Coleman. Only points of the 3rd quarter. A Jaquan Smith touchdown. That's the difference in the game so far.
Pistol formation, motion from left to right, wide open, down the seam goes Will Hoodnick, and Hoodnick will pick up a 1st down and more for North Hills out across the 40 to the 41-yard line, and the North Hills offense caught the Woodland Hills defense napping.
That's a 29-yard pickup for the tight end, John Hodnick. I think that the man in motion kind of opened that up, and then the linebacker, Caleb Brevard, bit Hodnick got behind him wide open before the secondary was able to close down and bring him down from behind, but not before he picked up 29 on the first pass completion of the evening for the Indians.
This time a shotgun with a sidecar to the left-hand side of Hurt. And he is going to hand off on the delay to Blanks, who runs from left to right. And he has nowhere to go as he's strung out by the Woodland Hills defense. Tackled by Jaquan Smith.
It's a really good tackle by Jaquan Smith. Blanks got through the initial line of scrimmage, and he does pick up 2, but real good tackle on the edge, on the near edge by Jaquan Smith, because Blanks has the ability to turn it up. So he got away from the initial penetration by Michael Roman, but Blanks or Jaquan Smith didn't just put the shoulder and use the arm as well. Bugs me to no end when a defensive back just comes in and throws the shoulder, and you see those tackles broken all the time.
North Hill's going to run the scissors play again to Blanks. Blanks eluding tacklers, driving his way across the 45 out towards the 48-yard line, where the tackle is made by Tyrell Barlow. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 3 for the North Hills Indians. The ball at the Woodland Hills 48-yard line. So we've seen an interception today by Woodland Hills turn into a touchdown. Then a fumble by North Hills, and then the ball coughed back up by the Wolverines. And North Hills trying to take advantage of that fumble as they have the ball here 3rd down and 3 at their own 48. Shotgun. Hurt with a sidecar to his right in Blanks. 2 receivers left. Motion man from left to right is Brennan. He'll take the pitch on the end around. And Jeremy Turner makes the stop in the backfield. The big play for the linebacker. The 3rd Wolverine named Jay Turner in the last 10 years who shines on the defensive end. It was Julian, then Jawan, and now Jeremy.
That's just a great read. A little deep on that end around, deep route by Brennan. And he almost was able to spin away, but Turner got enough of him to trip him up. Now they get some whistles. I think we're going to get a Woodland Hills timeout. Personnel issues for the Wolverines.
Woodland Hills.
Too many men on the field.
Yeah, Woodland Hills uses a timeout. We'll step away 10-3. Woodland Hills leading North Hills. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Bush Brothers Car Care Center in Swissvale has been a Monongahela Avenue institution for nearly 30 years. Bush Brothers is a full-service mechanic and tire shop for all types of vehicles. Whether you need mechanical work, alignment, state inspection, emissions testing, new tires, or just an oil change, Bush Brothers is the place for you. Bush Brothers Car Care Center, Monongahela Avenue in Swissvale, or give Martin and Jason a call at 412-351-5342.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
North Hills to punt it away. Daniel Wagner with the boot, and this one will again carry into the stands on the near boundary into the North Hills bench. And where will they say the ball goes out of bounds this time? At the 40, where it'll be 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills. Boy, North Hills really keeping the ball away from those return men of the Wolverines.
Just try to do a little better job of angling that deeper. I don't have a problem with, if you're North Hills, keeping it away. That's smart, but you want to try to maybe angle a little deeper. But your defense has played well, even though you're trailing by 7. Woodland Hills, again, you'll take the field position at the 40. Let's see what they do with, that's Jaquan Smith coming back in to be the low man in the backfield for Woodland Hills.
And Daniel Jones with 2 receivers right in a double tight end formation. Quick snap, handoff. Jaquan Smith dancing right, spinning forward. He'll pick up about 7 or 8 yards, and it's make it 2nd down and 4 after the pickup of a half dozen.
The senior Jaquan Smith had a touchdown taken away, has the game's only touchdown on the season running the football. Was 2nd in yards to Roddy Denard. Smith came into the game averaging 5.1 yards per carry, and now his touchdown tonight ties him with Roddy Denard with for the lead in rushing touchdowns on the year for Woodland Hills, 6 apiece.
Jaquan Smith alone setback, 2 receivers to the far side right. Counter to the right-hand side. Smith finds a crease, drives his way forward for a gain of 3. He'll lean his back towards the 1st down flag. The Indians will drive him forward for him, but backwards for the Wolverines, if you will. Either way, the pickup of 3 brings up 3rd down and 1.
Defense by number 22, Luke Brennan.
Tyler Brennan in on the tackle, also in on the stop for North Hills is Mertezi, who has just been an absolute wall at times on the inside of that defensive front for North Hills.
Yeah, got to make sure you get a body on him. Glatz as well on the tackle. There were several other players too, as Smith had 2nd and 3rd effort. We've seen that a lot from Jaquan Smith.
3rd and about a yard and a half, the line to gain the 50-yard line. Jones, hard count, handoff, straight up the gut. Nowhere to go for Jaquan Smith. as he's met at the line of scrimmage and won't get any further. And this is a tough decision for Woodland Hills head coach Tim Bostard on 4th down and 2 from his own 48. They'll bring the punt unit on.
And I think that's the right decision. Good stuff up in the middle. I know Brandon Manning was in there, but not sure if he had the initial contact because he stuck it in there. Yeah, it was Manning who came underneath. Nothing doing. Also underneath that pile was Biswick. They did a great job to stuff that run right at the line of scrimmage.
Angled protectors and a personal protector. Good snap as Whitehurst will boom a spiraling punt away. It'll take a bounce in favor of the Wolverines, and on 2 hops it's scooped up by the return man. And I think that's Ostel this time for North Hills, and he'll be spun down crossing the 20 to the 21-yard line. And the chess match continues in this 7-point ball game. Woodland Hills on top of North Hills 10-3.
And we talked about maybe making some adjustments. Haven't seen any changes, big changes that are obvious changes for either team offensively. Big play in the second half was the Michael Coleman INT, which led to the game's only touchdown.
Wildcat for the first time in the second half. Tyler Brennan, the QB. Play action off the handoff. He's going to run it himself instead. He'll spin his way forward. Woodland Hills trying to tackle the football to no avail, and instead it's going to be a first down for Tyler Brennan on the Wildcat carry.
We saw the formation earlier, didn't do so well. I thought, let's see this replay, because I thought Jeremy Turner was held.
Brennan down at the 37-yard line.
As they run, get a good block.
Oh, without a doubt.
First and 10 Indians.
Good eye by you, Bob Orquist. So here's the Wildcat, Brennan again, the QB. Hard count. Cameron Taylor does not take the handoff. Instead, it will be Brennan, the QB, running to the left-hand side, picking up 3 yards to the 40-yard line before Tyrell Barlow makes the tackle for Woodland Hills. Barlow, our state senator, Jay Costa, player of the game, the last time the Wolverines were here at the Wolverena.
Also getting underneath there was Marcus Taylor from his linebacker slot. Kind of like this play because you get Taylor faking the handoff, and then Cameron Taylor becomes another blocker. So you've got 10 on 11. And, you try to make your Wildcat quarterback, in this case Tyler Brennan, make someone miss. They couldn't do it as quarter number 3 comes to an end.
So we have played 36 minutes of football. Woodland Hills leads North Hills 10-3. We'll be back with the 4th quarter. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
There are few things that guys like more than a great haircut at a real barbershop. And at the Barber's Inn on Washington Avenue in Swissvale, you'll find both. Plus, you can relax in style on supple leather sofas while watching their big screen HD TV. You can even shoot some pool while you wait. But most importantly, you'll walk out the door with a haircut or shave you're sure to love. Walk-ins are always welcome at the Barber's Inn in Swissvale. For more information, call 412-271-7434. And remember, real men come to the Barber's Inn. Today's broadcast of Woodland Hills football is brought to you by the Turtle Creek Valley Rotary Club. Since 1905, Rotary clubs across the globe have brought business and professional leaders together to provide humanitarian services, encourage high ethical standards in all vocations, and to advance goodwill and peace around the world. The Turtle Creek Valley Rotary Club meets every Friday at noon at Shelley Pie. Rotary, service above self.
You're tuned in to Wolverine football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Set to begin quarter number 4, 10-3. Woodland Hills leading North Hills. On the Wildcat, Tyler Brennan again, the ball carrier for the North Hills Indians. He runs to the right. He picks up the first down for the visiting team. And they'll actually push the ball right back to near that first down flag. They'll say he does get to the 47-yard line, where it'll be first down and 10 for the visiting North Hills Indians.
That kind of a different look of the Wildcat with the empty set, but nonetheless comfortable in running the football as Tyler Brennan does it as a wingback, doing it out of the Wildcat.
Brennan running left this time, has a blocker with Cameron Taylor, And running to his left-hand side and somehow squeaking free for a few yards was Tyler Brennan. It looked like the Wolverines had him strung out dead to rights, but instead we will see Brennan pick up a few yards inside of Woodland Hills territory, actually 5 to the 48, as Nazir Taylor is down and it looks like he's got some cramps.
Brennan did a good job to adjust. You mentioned it strung out. The 6'1", 180-pound junior adjusted once. And got an additional pressure from Michael Roman, adjusted again. Check out the replay coming to his left to the near side. They avoided one tackle by Barlow and then just got around the angle. Yeah, Taylor definitely cramped up. He makes the tackle, but they're stretching out that right leg.
You could actually see the bulge in his right calf as he was coming down making that tackle on the Triangle Bar and Grill replay. Well, 11:29 to play here in quarter number 4. Woodland Hills with a precarious 7-point lead. It was 3-3 at halftime. Woodland Hills with the lone score here in half number 2. That on a 5-yard touchdown run by Anthony Meredith, or rather Jaquan Smith for the Wolverines. And that came after a huge interception by Michael Coleman.
This, I believe, is the third series in this game offensively that North Hills has gone with Brennan and the Wildcat. This is the most successful one. There you see the Big East Conference standings. Penn Trafford a half-game lead on both McKeesport and Franklin Regional. The Gators at 3-1, right behind those two teams.
Big East, the other half of 5A in the WPIAL. Quarterback back in is hurt. He's pressured. He's wrapped. He's sacked by Anthony Meredith all the way back at the 40-yard line.
It's a huge, huge loss of 12 yards. They want Wildcat. They were running well. Time to try to come in and surprise the Wolverines with a play-action pass. Anthony Meredith had none of it. Hurt with a pump and go. Meredith got inside the block of Melvin Planks and then drops Will Hurt back at his own 40. We got a cramp situation now with Jaquan Smith.
And Jaquan Smith, who has the lone touchdown of the game for either team, made a big play a year ago. I wanted to touch on this against North Hills. A huge interception late in the football game. Woodland Hills was up 15-8. North Hills was driving. Jaquan Smith tipped a pass to himself and picked it off, and Woodland Hills was able to kill a lot of clock in that situation. They gave the ball back to North Hills, and the Indians weren't able to do anything with it near the end of the football game, and Woodland Hills won the first of 2 huge Allegheny 9 conference games a season ago. And right now, Woodland Hills with this 7-point lead in this big Allegheny 9 conference game, and a win here goes a long way for Woodland Hills trying to help themselves qualify for the WPIAL playoffs.
Well, you've got the two teams at the top playing tonight with West Allegheny and Upper St. Clair, and you're talking about the playoffs, but you're also going to keep pace with those two teams. Coincidentally, those two teams still on the schedule. So I was talking about that earlier, about controlling your own destiny, not looking that far ahead. You want to take care of this fourth quarter right here, but you want to get this win here tonight. You're grinding it out. You're gritting it out. Both of these teams playing very gritty tonight. We've seen consecutive plays where we've had a cramp with Nazir Taylor and now Jaquan Smith down. But defense has been the big key. Michael Coleman, Adam with a big interception, led to the game's only touchdown, and now a big sack puts North Hills in a 3rd and long situation here. Smith is up. He's been stretched out. The cramp is stretched out, and he'll go off to the sideline.
Bobby, you touched on the fact that Woodland Hills does have those 2 big teams in the Allegheny 9 Conference coming up. Those are road games in weeks 8 and 9, but in week 7, Woodland Hills will host the Moon Tigers, and that game will be right here at the Wolverena next week, the final home game of the year before Woodland Hills hits the road for 2 straight at Upper St. Clair and at West Allegheny, but in the reverse order. They're going to run a lateral pass, are the Indians. It's to Hodnick, who throws it looking downfield for Blanks, and Blanks can't come back to make the catch as Hodnick took the lateral pass. He set his feet. He had a second to throw it, couldn't get rid of it cleanly, and that'll bring up 4th down and about 17.
Blanks had a step on 2 of the defenders, but just underthrew it. Hodnick is a tight end. He has a glove on the right hand and just underthrew it. It was a good job. His back was turned by Jaden Lucas. You talked about Moon, who comes in next week. They're at Chartiers Valley. If Moon wins and Woodland Hills holds on and wins tonight, those two teams again will be faced in another good situation. But Dan Wagner, again, is just not taking a good angle. You can hear the grumpiness by the North Hills fans in front of us. And again, Woodland Hills gets great field position where they mark that out at their own 45. We would love to take advantage of it and get a little bit of insurance on the board here with 10:31 to go in the fourth quarter.
So 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills at their own 45-yard line. Ball on the right hash. Woodland Hills will split 2 receivers to the left. Double tight end formation.
Taylor is back in. Smith is not.
And Jones is going to hand off. Anthony Meredith, the ball carrier, running left. He's got the first down and more all the way down to the North Hills 40-yard line. A pickup on that play of 15.
It's a good job by the interior line, the offensive line for Woodland Hills, because Meredith took that hand off and kind of stutter stepped and slid to his left, and there was a big hole as they blocked down. He just went right through it, was able to outrun Alex Glatz, turn the corner for the big 15-yard pickup in the first down.
Two receivers to the wide side right. Double tights. Jones under center, Meredith the tailback. Hand off, Meredith hesitates, bursts free. He's got the first down. He's still on his feet, 15 to the 20, spinning all the way down to the 15-yard line. A pickup on that play of 25.
12 carries and 82 yards now after Anthony Meredith picking up 15 and then 25 on consecutive plays. Good stutter step, good hole straight up the gut. We saw that against Chartiers Valley. Great strength just to shuck off. There it is. Brennan came in, puts the shoulder in, doesn't wrap. Meredith just shucked him like it was nothing and gets inside the 20 to the 15-yard line.
Two receivers to the wide side right again in a double tight end formation. Jones stepping under center. Hand off, Meredith again. Hesitates, slides through, picks up a handful to the 10-yard line following Barlow.
5 more. We'll take that for Anthony Meredith. It'll allow some more time to come off. You're thinking a long drive would be nice, but you'll take points anyway. You've already got the football inside of Hanchett field goal territory. There's Meredith. He just likes the contact. Give credit to Glatz to hang on to his leg, and then Ostel to come in and finish him up, but not before Meredith picked up 5 to the 10.
Again, double tights for the Wolverines. One receiver split to either side. Meredith alone set back behind Jones. Handoff, Meredith again with the hesitation. He'll lean the ball across the 10 to about the 9-yard line. They'll say the knee was down, though, as he brought the ball to that 10-yard line. And that'll bring up third down and 5 at the 10.
Good job by Glatz to get up underneath this time. Good penetration as well by Biswick. He got in and kind of forced Meredith to hesitate. Glatz was able to come in and drop him right there at the line of scrimmage.
Receivers split to either side. Jones will step under center. Meredith alone set back with double tights. Jones, hands off. Meredith, right to left, and into the end zone he'll go for a 10-yard touchdown run. And Woodland Hills has opened up a 16-3 lead.
Nice cutback, great vision as Meredith was able to look to his left and cut back to the left and score from 10 yards for Anthony Meredith. His first touchdown rushing tonight and on the season. Anthony Meredith picks up rushing touchdown number 4. This run from 10, there it is, good cut, good hole, cuts back and then just angling in. It's a hit near the goal line by Brendan Carney, was able to keep going, gets into the end zone. Hanchett's extra point puts Woodland Hills up by 14.
And I know it may be a little inconsequential depending on how this game ends up, but a great job there by Whitehurst to scoop up the hold and get it down so Hanchett could boot it through. 17-3 is the score with 8:09 to play in regulation. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412 241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
8:09 to play. Woodland Hills 17, North Hills 3. Number 5 with a 10-yard touchdown run, and number 10 with a 5-yard touchdown run, and that's the 14 points we've seen here in the second half by Woodland Hills. Chucky Hanchett's kickoff carries out of bounds at the 20, so it'll be 1st and 10 for North Hills at the 35, unless they elect for the re-kick, but I've never seen that happen.
Very rarely do you see that happen. You'll take it at the 35. You assume this thing would happen again. I go back to defense, and of course the defense has been good. Michael Coleman's interception led to the Jaquan Smith touchdown. The big play on that previous drive was the sack by Meredith on Will Hurt that made it 3rd and long. They were able to force North Hills to punt. Meredith caps off the ensuing drive at him with the 10-yard touchdown run. So defensive plays, big defensive plays, leading directly to the points for the Woodland Hills Wolverines in this second half.
Pistol formation, trips right, they'll motion one to the near side left. Play action to blanks. Ball down the left seam. Wide open is John Hodnick, and he'll slide through a tackle, and he will go all the way to the house for a 65-yard touchdown. And it was a 14-point game, and now it's an 8-point game.
The second time in this game we've seen Hodnick, the tight end, get wide open on a seam route. And play action again, doing the trick. They fake the handoff to blanks, and that freezes the defense, draws in the linebackers, and Hodnick on the near hash. Hodnick wide open. He got a step on the linebacker Marcus Taylor, and then coming in, Jaquan Smith just tried to throw a shoulder into Hodnick, and Hodnick, with the good size at 5'11" and 200 pounds, shakes it off and rumbles the rest of the way for the 65-yard touchdown reception from Will Hurt.
So Wagner on to attempt the PAT to make it a 7-point game. Low snap, the hold down, the PAT is up and no good, wide left, so it stays an 8-point game, Bobby O.
You talked about Whitehurst doing the job on the last extra point. You think, is it insequential or it doesn't matter? And it does right now because it keeps it an 8-point game. You take the touchdown, but you're a little disappointed if you're Woodland Hills. And you know, their kicking game has not been, or North Hills, their kicking game has not been the greatest tonight. They've been kicking it away, punting it away. Here we're watching a replay, and again, Smith, there it is, you throw the shoulder in, but you got to try to wrap it up. So you're North Hills, you're happy that you've got the touchdown and you've got it in a 1-point or 1-score game, but now by missing the extra point with Dan Wagner, you've made it a game where you need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So we'll see where they go with this kickoff, and we'll see what Woodland Hills can do with the ground game. Meredith has 97 yards and a touchdown. Jaquan Smith, if we're looking at it, maybe it's Smith's turn to come back out and play in the tailback slot. He's got 52 yards and a touchdown on the game so far for Woodland Hills.
You've got to expect North Hills may attempt an onside kick here with 7:57 to play. Woodland Hills has some hands guys up there along that front line. A lot of big fellas.
47's the highest number, so the hands team is out there. And they were all making sure they're on the same page, and they know it.
And Daniel Wagner will kick a low squibbing kick that'll slide past the first wave and go all the way back to the 15-yard line where Nasir Taylor has the return. He'll cut it across the grain. There's a flag down as Taylor bursts free, still on his feet, out across the 35 to the 40-yard line. But a flag is back at the 25-yard line, and in all likelihood, this is going against Woodland Hills, and most of this return's coming back.
Yeah, that flag dropped at the 25-yard line.
Blocking it back, return team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, first down.
So that'll back Woodland Hills up from the 25 to the 15-yard line, where they will start this drive 85 yards away from Pater.
I didn't see it unless it happened before we picked up the replay right there. But if you're with the Wolverines, just got to make sure you're protecting the football, get a couple of first downs. It is Jaquan Smith's series. He's the low man in the backfield behind Daniel Jones.
Two receivers to the far boundary left. Jones hands off. Smith looking to go left. He will go left. He'll cross the 15 out towards the 17 before being driven back by a host of white jerseys. Down at the bottom of the pile, Ian Zimmerman for North Hills.
Who came up, I think it was Gillespie and Brennan on that right side to string that out, and then the cavalry came, Brandon Manning, a couple of other players. Good job by Mike Toten at 6'1", 335 as well on that play for the Indians.
Two receivers right. One back behind Jones. It's Jaquan Smith. And Jaquan Smith takes the handoff, runs right, tries to cut back left, and he'll be wrapped up high and brought down at the 19-yard line for another gain of 2.
Well, not a bad decision to try to cut it back, but the backside pursuit was pretty good for North Hills because the Indians strung it out. There was a nice block by the pulling guard, Michael Lucas, but also coming over to string it out was Biswick, and then when he turned it back in, there was Manning, there was Mertezi to hold Jaquan Smith to the 2-yard pickup.
Woodland Hills has run 2 plays and has eaten up over a minute and 15 off of the clock thus far.
Pat Carey on the near sideline telling the Indians to watch out for the play-action pass.
Jones under center. He's going to hand off. Nowhere to go for Jaquan Smith. He's brought down back at the 15-yard line, so a loss of 4, and the punt unit comes on.
Damon Thompson.
You know, Bob, on one hand, certainly you want to be conservative, maintain the football. Don't give up an INT in that situation. Conversely, become too conservative and you give North Hills the ball back with over 5 minutes to go in regulation.
And staring at maybe pretty good field position. The return man, I believe that's Blank's note, is Derek Ostel. He stands near midfield.
Whitehurst is the punter. Great snap. Punt away. A beauty. A wobbler to the 45. Ostel eludes the first wave. He'll be brought down from behind at the 35-yard line. Tackle on the play by Anthony Meredith, but still a 10-yard pickup by Ostel on that return as he was able to slide past Marcus Taylor, the long snapper, initially.
That's, first of all, it's a great job. That's your long snapper, the first man down the field, but he made a miss at the 46-yard line, and Taylor just got a hand on him, and then Ostel was able to pick up 12 on that punt return. So it is good field position for the Indians. Down 8. The defense has been good for the white shirts. It's been really good for the black shirts, and the black shirts and the black and turquoise for Woodland Hills need to pick it up here. Crucial drive in this fourth quarter of an 8-point game.
Tight end left, wing right. Receivers to either side. Play action. Hurt dumping it off to the near side, and the pass intended for John Hodnick is incomplete, and that will bring up 2nd down and 10. Michael Roman was all over that one.
Jeremy Turner actually made that play. Hurt one play action, faked it. Was it Turner on the pressure, or was it Roman?
There was Roman coming from his right Roman. Outside linebacker.
Yeah, and he forced that underthrow. As Hurt turned and looked to the near side for Hodnick, his tight end, Roman was the man who was right there. We've seen that a couple times. Good pressure on a quarterback pressure causing an incompletion.
Trips right. Cameron Taylor, the sidecar to the right of Hurt. And I think there was some movement along that offensive line for North Hills that's going to cost them 5.
Yeah, another penalty.
Snap. False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Looked like it was the right tackle who kind of leaned a bit before the play started over on that right-hand side. Yep.
You got it.
The right tight end over on that right-hand side, number 71, Jason Biswick. Now a tight end to the left of the formation, receiver left, twins right, sidecar to the right of Hurt is Taylor. Hurt hard count, shotgun, pressured, rolling right. He's going to dump it off to Taylor. Taylor, stutter step, forced out of bounds by Turner. A pickup of 4, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 11.
It's pretty good pressure. Not sure if they were set up a screen or maybe a naked screen because the pressure just came right in. That's just Damian Thomas beating his man. And that's pretty good awareness by Hurt to know he had a safety valve in Cameron Taylor out to the right flat.
So 3rd and 11 as the clock is stopped here after the ball was carried out of bounds. 8-point lead for Woodland Hills, 17-9 with 5:14 to go.
Another big crucial third down. We've seen a lot of them in this game.
Trips left, sidecar to the left of Hurt in Taylor. Hurt rolling left, has some time. Now he's going to feel some late pressure. He's going to heave-ho it down the field, and it's going to be, oh wow, what a fantastic catch. Stepping forward, keeping his feet in bounds. Tyler Brennan caught the ball completely out of bounds while his feet were in bounds.
That's a great call by you and an even spectacular catch by Brennan. I thought initially that Hurt might be trying to throw it away. Then I saw Brennan coming out. And that's in a spot by Will Hurt, who's over 100 yards passing, where Brennan comes up and makes the player that goes out of bounds. But Brennan with great awareness, number one, to see that football, and number two, to keep both feet in bounds on the near sideline.
The motion trips to the right of the formation. Hurt rolling to the right. He's pressured. He's hit as he releases the football. The ball is caught by, I think, Blanks out of the backfield, and he is dumped down as soon as he catches the ball a couple of yards deep in the backfield. It was first and goal at the 10. Now it's second and goal at the 12.
Good pressure. Mentioned that several times, and that forces Hurt to readjust and throw it to his safety man. The other good thing about that is after the pressure, that was Best who got the hands on it, is they wrap up Blanks, because he's certainly capable of snagging that, catching that, turning it upfield and turning it into the end zone.
Trips left, sidecar to the left of Hurt, who's in the shotgun. Tight end to the left of the formation as well. As Hurt rolls to his left, he'll throw to his left. Nobody's back there in the back corner of the end zone, and the incomplete pass will stop the clock and bring up third down and goal from the 12.
It's Caleb Brevard on the blitz. Good pickup, though, by Taylor. I'm trying to see at the end of this. Just well overthrown. Brennan was the man at the back boundary.
4 minutes, 10 seconds to play. Clock stopped here in the fourth quarter. Woodland Hills 17. The North Hills Indians 9. North Hills threatening with the ball. Third and goal at the 12-yard line. Sidecar to the left of Hurt is Taylor to receiver's left. One to the short side right. Hurt rolling left, pressured. Tries to tuck the football, and he'll be caught and wrapped from behind. A big play there by Teron Best.
Eric Oliver forced him up, and Best came from the backside, and another big sack, second of the half for the Wolverines, and North Hills down 8. And they're going to go for it. They're going to keep the offense out there, but again, the pressure. Oliver came right up the middle, shook off the block of Biswick, turned Hurt around, and it was Best who finished the deal. And looks like North Hills is going to take a timeout here on 4th and 18, a crucial play with 3:33 to go.
We'll take a timeout as well here on the Woodland Hills Football Network at 17-9. Woodland Hills on top of North Hills. Again, you're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 70 years. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back in Turtle Creek, where Woodland Hills leads the North Hills Indians 17-9 with 3 minutes and 33 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. The Indians have the ball, fourth down and goal at the Woodland Hills 18-yard line.
They already had one big conversion on this drive on the pass to Tyler Brennan of 26 yards. Keep in mind they can not get a first down. I was trying to think this drive, that started at the 10, so it's first and goal.
Trips right, sidecar in Taylor to the left of Hurt. And Hurt has nowhere to go. Michael Roman was there initially. He knocked him down towards the turf, and then he's covered up by Micah Lucas for the sack. A turnover on downs. It's first and 10 for Woody High. The defense coming up big.
The only place to go was down. Great pressure by Woodland Hills. Two huge back-to-back sacks, this one for a loss of 8. They had trips right. They went opposite of that. Not sure if Hurt was trying to turn back, but it was Roman to make the initial pressure, and then it was Micah Lucas to seal the deal.
And I'll tell you what, Joe Sampson did not hold back. The defensive coordinator sent linebackers after the quarterback Hurt, and he was enveloped initially by Roman. Lucas was there, as was the blitzing inside linebacker, Jeremy Turner.
Love the aggressiveness.
Handoff, the ball carrier, Anthony Meredith, running to the right-hand side. He'll get out to the 30-yard line for a pickup of 3, bringing up 2nd down and 7 as the clock winds to 3 minutes and 15 seconds to play in regulation.
You're looking to get a first down. If you're Woodland Hills, you couldn't do it on the previous drive. We thought they might have gotten ultra-conservative. I want to hand that a football too. Meredith, they did a good job because the handoff kind of slid initially out of his belly, but he made sure he had both hands on the football, and that's what you want to see if you're Woodland Hills. Jones wait until it goes to 5 seconds and under as well.
He'll step under center. Handoff, Meredith trying to bounce left. Slides through a tackle, drives his way out towards the 33-yard line for a gain of 3. That'll bring up 3rd down and 4.
Anthony Meredith has maybe become a bigger fan every week. I see him run the football, especially with Denard leaving this game with an injury, and I don't know what his status will be moving forward in this season. Initially, I thought he was going to get hit in the backfield and did a good job to turn that up.
2 receivers right, 1 back set, double tights. As Jones will step under center. And he will hand off to Anthony Meredith, who is met in the backfield 3 yards deep, in fact, back at the 30-yard line. And a timeout is called by North Hills after the play is made defensively by Alex Glatz.
That's just a huge job by Glatz to just burst right through that hole. There you see Pat Carey and his staff designing a play. We're maybe talking offensively after this play. North Hills took the timeout.
So 1:50 to play, Woodland Hills with an 8-point lead over North Hills, 17-9. So the Wolverines are going to have to punt the football here, and the defense is going to have to make one more big stop.
Again, time and time again, they've done it in this game, Adam, and they need to come up with it once again, another big stand.
This is so similar to the game a season ago. A big defensive play in the latter stages of quarter number 4. Woodland Hills got the ball back, wasn't able to do anything with it, gave the ball back to North Hills, where the Indians had the ball near midfield and ended up turning it over on downs, and Woodland Hills ended up winning the football game. This almost deja vu all over again.
Warners has been outstanding as a punter, amongst other positions as well, but he's done such a great job kicking the football. Need another good punt here from the senior.
Good snap. Not his best punt. A knuckler. It'll take a Woodland Hills bounce, though. It'll continue to roll. And there's 2 benefits to that. Number 1, as the clock rolls, or as the ball rolls, so does the clock. And number 2, it pushes the Indians back to their own 37.
I believe just 1 timeout remaining for North Hills as well, so keep that in mind.
Next week, Woodland Hills hosts Moon right here at the Wolverena. Come on down and check out the final home game of the regular season as Woodland Hills hosts the Moon Tigers for the first time in program history. They traveled to the West Hills of Pittsburgh a year ago for the first time in an absolute classic at Moon Stadium. So 1:40 to play in regulation. North Hills with the ball at their own 37. Twins right, power, pistol. The quarterback hurt, pressured, wrapped, sacked. He had nowhere to go. Straight up the gut came a blitzing Caleb Bavard, and he brings him down at the 30.
4th sack of the half, 4th sack of the game, 3rd consecutive sack for the Woodland Hills Wolverines. There you see Brevard on our television portion of the broadcast, the senior.
Twins to either side. Hurt looking right, throwing right. Finds a receiver over there and stumbling down to the turf, and that's bad news for North Hills as the receiver over there, I think it's Melvin Blanks, came down in bounds.
Did that, actually it's Ostel who makes the catch. A little scary there because it was Austell and Coleman one-on-one.
So 3rd down and about a handful. Hurt looking right, throwing right. The pass incomplete. Intended for Tyler Brennan, and the coverage by Woodland Hills defensive back knocking it out of his hands, and that'll bring up 4th down and 5 with the football at the 42. The line to gain is the 47.
You mentioned Coach Samsa has been aggressive. I don't think you're going to dial it back right here. I think Woodland Hills is maybe thinking about, no, we got an official timeout.
Yeah, Anthony Meredith went down over on the far numbers with a cramp. He just couldn't get off the field. He tried to, but to no avail. And athletic trainer Denny D'Amico stretching out that right calf of Anthony Meredith. 44 seconds to play in regulation. 4th down and 5, the football at the 42. 17-9, Woodland Hills leads the North Hills Indians in this 7 versus 8 matchup in Allegheny 9 conference play. The number 7 team, the Woodland Hills Wolverines, in the Trib Live High School Sports Network poll, while North Hills is number 8.
There's a great shot there, not that Anthony Meredith's getting stretched out, but I'm thinking, okay, we've seen big plays by Roman, we've seen big plays by Teron Best, we've seen big plays by Jeremy Turner, and all 3 of those were standing in front of Anthony Meredith on that shot over there on the far sideline.
This the biggest play of the game for the Woodland Hills defense and the North Hills offense. 4th and 5 at the 42.
4th and 5.
North Hills will set in the shotgun. Tight end to the right with a receiver to that short boundary. 2 receivers to the long side left. Hurt is pressured as he runs to the right. He'll pick up the 1st down, and he'll step out of bounds inside of Woodland Hills territory right around the 45. Takes a handful of seconds off of the clock, but he does pick up decent yardage, about 15 on that play.
Not sure is that by design, but a good job by Hurt. He was looking near side and then turned it up. I think he just made that decision as Damian Thomas put the pressure on. So that's a big 1st down for Will Hurt. Gets a new fresh set of downs for the Indians, down 8.
Trips left. Tight end right. Hurt, shotgun. Rolling left, pressured. A flag is down as Hurt runs to his right. He'll pump, he'll step forward, he'll step out of bounds. But I think this is going to be holding against North Hills, as it looked like Roman had broken free straight up the gut. The flag went down right at his feet as he burst free. We'll check in with our referee, Marty Lynn.
Holding. Offense. It's going to be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay 2nd.
The spot of that foul was 3 yards deep in the backfield, so this will end up being about a 13-yard penalty, pushing North Hills all the way back to their own 42. And the 42-yard line is where we saw the quarterback, William Hurt, run from a moment ago.
First.
So it's 1st down and very long here. 1st and 23 from the 42. 30 seconds to play. 8-point lead for the home team. Trips left, tight end right. Sidecar to the left-hand side of Will Hurt. Hurt, straight drop back, late pressure, steps forward, he's wrapped, he's sacked. Eric Oliver with the play.
Eric Oliver making a play for Woodland Hills on the sack.
5th sack from the 6'3" senior.
North Hills.
The sack. North Hills takes their final timeout. Loss of 3 on that sack. And then the aggressiveness, Oliver just forcing his man back.
That's their 3rd and final timeout.
Tries to roll out, does Hurt to the near side, and Oliver stays with him.
Well, Bobby, you know, we still have 24 seconds of football left here. Right now, Woodland Hills with an 8-point lead on North Hills. They face a 2nd down and 23 to the visiting Indians from their own 42-yard line. Woodland Hills goes on to win this game, or should Woodland Hills go on to win this game? They'll be 4-3 on the season, but more importantly, 4-1 in conference play as they host the Moon Tigers next week. And that'll be the final home game of the regular season. Then they hit the road for 2 straight, one at West A and then one at Upper St. Clair. So a tough ending to the season for the Wolverines.
Look at the challenge they'll be up for. Look at the challenge. You mentioned it, the game against Moon last year was pretty good. just got to take care of business, not only moving forward, but you got to take care of business on fourth down. They've done it. Will they get sack number 6?
Wing to the left, 2 receivers to the near side left. Sidecar to the left-hand side of William Hurt. Straight drop back. Hurt pressured, Hurt wrapped, Hurt brought down by Caleb Brevard. Yet another sack. That was the final timeout, the last time the Indians used a timeout. They've got 10 seconds here to try to clock the football, and I don't know what the Indians are doing, but they're not getting back to try to clock this football and get one final play in. 2 seconds left. The ball is spiked with a second to go. And we will check in with our referee as there is 1 second to go here. Woodland Hills will stay on the sideline. The incomplete pass will bring up 4th down and 20, whatever. Basically, at this point, North Hills needs to score a touchdown with 1 second to play.
Yeah, that's a good point. You're looking at 4th and 67, are you not?
Yeah.
Barring a defensive penalty. Another sack. 6. 5 in the last 2 drives for North Hills.
Trips to the right, tight ends to the near side left. Hurt, pressured, throws to the near side left, looking for Hodnick. The pass incomplete. That's the end of the football game. Woodland Hills defeats North Hills 17-9. The Wolverines now 4-3 on the year and 4-1 in conference play. In another hard-fought football game between the Wolverines of Woodland Hills and the Indians of North Hills.
Defense started strong, defense played strong both ways, but the Woodland Hills defense, really strong performance, and they got pressure on Hurt. He just tried to throw it out to the near side on the last play of the game where you hope you get one of those Stanford lateral plays type going, but great job. Sack-wise, 6 of them. 5 of them in the last 2 drives were big. Michael Coleman's interception was big. It led to the first touchdown of the game and the first lead for Woodland Hills. Offense doing it up with Meredith running the football, 100 yards and a touchdown. And victory number 1 on the George A. Novak field here at the Wolverena. I think you had the big number before we take a break, Adam. The key is 4-3, but 4-1 for the Wolverines in conference play.
Yeah, those 2 losses coming out of conference to Gateway and Penn Trafford, while they are important for playoff seeding, they don't mean anything for conference championships. Again, Woodland Hills with the 17-9 win over the North Hills Indians. We're going to step away for 90 seconds, and when we return, it'll be the Woodland Hills Football Network post-game show as the Wolverines defeat the North Hills Indians here in Turtle Creek. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com. State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com. The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 70 years. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network. You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network. You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Wolverines allowing a huge kick return by Melvin Blanks all the way down to the Woodland Hills 19-yard line. You follow that up by a field goal of 29 yards by Daniel Wagner. North Hills strikes first and makes the score 3-0. Pair of punts, a turnover on downs, and then a punt by North Hills gives Woodland Hills the ball at the North Hills 45-yard line. Woodland Hills drives the ball down inside of the North Hills 10 to the 8-yard line before Chucky Hanchett comes on and kicks a 26-yard field goal and ties the game up at 3-all. A punt by North Hills gives Woodland Hills the football at the North Hills 45 again. They drive it all the way down to the North Hills red zone where an interception is thrown by Daniel Jones. A missed field goal by North Hills, though, after they turned the field around. And that was the end of the half after Woodland Hills ran just one play. Woodland Hills got the ball to begin the second half. They punted it away. And North Hills got the ball at their own 33, and that's when a big play was made by Michael Coleman with the interception. He followed that up with a 39-yard return down to the North Hills 5-yard line. And then it was a 5-yard touchdown run for Jaquan Smith to give Woodland Hills their first lead of the game. And then Chucky Hanchett comes on to take it from 9-3 to 10-3. And that PAT ends up being the game-winning point in the football game. A fumble forced by Michael Roman, recovered by Jaden Lucas, gives Woodland Hills the ball inside of North Hills territory. And just a couple of plays later, a fumble by Nazir Taylor gives North Hills the ball back. A trio of punts and then a 10-yard touchdown run by Woodland Hills caps off a 55-yard drive, that 10-yard TD by Anthony Meredith. The PAT up and in for Chucky Hanchett. Woodland Hills is on top 17-3. The Indians answer back and answer back quickly. They start at their own 35-yard line, and just one play later, it's a 65-yard touchdown pass from William Hurt to the tight end, John Hodnick, but the PAT goes wide left, and then the Woodland Hills defense has to ratchet down, and they make a handful of big plays and end up winning this football game by the final score of 17-9. Bobby O, basically an instant classic here in Turtle Creek.
Yep, defensive instant classic, no doubt about it. Go back to the last two drives. Woodland Hills 6 sacks, 5 of them on the last two drives. Before the final drive, Woodland Hills had a punt from deep in their own territory. The Indians started at the 35. There were 2 big sacks at the end of that drive that stopped that down. Woodland Hills gets the ball back. They can't move it. North Hills gets a big first down on a run by Will Hurt, which keeps that drive alive, but then a couple more sacks, and they get pressure on the final drive of the game. But their defense was stout. Go back all the way. You mentioned it. A big kick return of Melvin Blanks of 79 yards, and North Hills starts the game at the 19-yard line of Woodland Hills. They come away with 3 points. The defense was solid, even that. You take away that 79-yard run, maybe a couple of pass plays in that big blank 64-yard run, and it's a great performance by the Woodland Hills defense. Big key plays, key turnovers, key victory here tonight at home.
We're going to take one more 2-minute break here on the post-game show. When we return, it will be our post-game superlatives, including our State Senator Jay Costa player of the game and the Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home play of the game. All of that as the post-game show rolls on right here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, with locations in East Pittsburgh and Turtle Creek, is a member of the Hall of Excellence of the National Funeral Directors Association. This reflects the same pursuit of excellence by our Woodland Hills football team, cheerleaders, marching band, students, staff, and faculty. For over 110 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home has been honored to serve local families and to be a proud partner of the Woodland Hills communities. Bush Brothers Car Care Center in Swissvale has been a Monongahela Avenue institution for nearly 30 years. Bush Brothers is a full-service mechanic and tire shop for all types of vehicles. Whether you need mechanical work, alignment, state inspection, emissions testing, new tires, or just an oil change, Bush Brothers is the place for you. Bush Brothers Car Care Center, Monongahela Avenue in Swissvale, or give Martin and Jason a call at 412-351-5342. There are few things that guys like more than a great haircut at a real barbershop. And at the Barber's Inn on Washington Avenue in Swissvale, you'll find both. Plus, you can relax in style on supple leather sofas while watching their big screen HD TV. You can even shoot some pool while you wait. But most importantly, you'll walk out the door with a haircut or shave you're sure to love. Walk-ins are always welcome at the Barber's Inn in Swissvale. For more information, call 412-271-7434. And remember, real men come to the Barber's Inn. Today's broadcast of Woodland Hills football is brought to you by the Turtle Creek Valley Rotary Club. Since 1905, Rotary clubs across the globe have brought business and professional leaders together to provide humanitarian services, encourage high ethical standards in all vocations, and to advance goodwill and peace around the world. The Turtle Creek Valley Rotary Club meets every Friday at noon at Shelley Pie. Rotary, service above self.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back in Turtle Creek one final time as the Woodland Hills Wolverines defeat the North Hills Indians 17-9 with the win. Woodland Hills now 4-3 on the season, more importantly 4-1 within Allegheny 9 conference play. With a loss, North Hills falls to 3-4 on the year, but more importantly for them, they're now 2-3 within Allegheny 9 play. Well, Bobby, time in the post-game show where we award our post-game superlatives. And it's pretty obvious what our Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home play of the game is. That is the big interception by Michael Coleman. You combine that with a 39-yard return, setting up the first touchdown of the game-winning touchdown, in fact, and the Woodland Hills Wolverines were able to get this win, and a lot of it had to do with that big INT by Michael Coleman.
Yeah, we've been talking about how good the defense was tonight, and it's going to obviously show in our post-game superlatives. But Coleman with the INT, we thought we had an INT on the play before that with Nazir Taylor on the near sideline. No doubt about Coleman's interception and the return. Jaquan Smith gets the touchdown, first lead of the game. That's all Woodland Hills needed offensively to get the spark. They win, but that was a big play to get the Wolverines out in front by a score of 10-3.
Now it's time to award our Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home play of the game, but today we're going to go with players of the game, and it's the linebacking core for the Woodland Hills Wolverines. Four of them to be exact: Teron Best, Michael Roman, Caleb Brevard, and Jeremy Turner. They were pressuring the quarterback and making plays all over the field tonight, and all four of those LBs are our State Senator Jay Costa players of the game. They were just dominant, especially through the fourth quarter.
You talked about it during the broadcast, Adam, when you talked about Coach Joe Samsa turning them loose. They were aggressive from the get-go. They were aggressive the entire night. They were in Will Hurt's face. They did a great job, a deserving kudos to pick all four of them, because they made plays all over, whether they were pressuring or whether they were sacking Will Hurt, whether they were keeping Melvin Blanks in check. All of them played great tonight.
So a great football game and a great win for Woodland Hills. Again, the Wolverines defeat the North Hills Indians 17-9. Their record is now 4-3 on the year, but more importantly, 4-1 in Allegheny 9 play. For our entire television crew, as well as all of the folks over at Trib Live High School Sports Network and my broadcast partner, Bobby Orquist, I'm Adam Gusky saying goodnight, everybody. We'll talk to you again next week as the Woodland Hills Wolverines host the Moon Tigers right here in Turtle Creek for the final regular season home game of 2017. You've been watching the Woodland Hills Football Network presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Today's broadcast of Wolverine football was presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Wolverine football is also brought to you by the Triangle Bar and Grill, LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, Bush Brothers Car Care, the Barbers Inn in Swissvale, A-Boss Opticians, the Turtle Creek Valley Rotary Club, Web Landings, and LG3 Entertainment. This broadcast has been a presentation of A.W. Gusky Productions and LG3 Entertainment. Copyright 2017.